Light up the Death Star with silver and black. The preseason nears its end.
We need to get back to being heavy-handed. We got to get ready to play football. All 4 possessions led to points on the board for the Raiders. We'll have 2 games here to evaluate both quarterbacks to see how they'll play.
That's what it's all about. You know, at the end of the day, the goal is the same. Every day we show up with the mindset to improve, and that's literally all we're focused on.
2 games remain, a proving ground to finalize a 53-man roster. They call them America's team. Welcome to Allegiant Stadium. The Shield takes on the Star. Tonight in Sin City.
Inside Allegiant Stadium for the first time this year, and the silver and black set to keep the competition going and find out who will start here in 2024. And with that, we welcome you inside the broadcast booth. Hey folks, Jason Horowitz, 2002 NFL MVP Rich Gannon, Matt Millen not able to join us tonight. We hope he rejoins us Friday for the 49ers game. Rich, we went to Minnesota. Biggest question mark for this team, who's going to be the starting quarterback? That question is still here tonight. We're going to find one out tonight.
And the good news, Jason, both quarterbacks played well. I think the bad news, it's making this decision for the coaching staff even that much more difficult. You know, Aiden O'Connell got the start. We're going to see Gardner Minshew tonight. When he came in last week, I thought he really settled in and played well. Made a lot of big throws, especially outside the pocket where he's probably more comfortable. He's a guy that plays with a lot of confidence. I like that about Gardner Minshew. Aiden O'Connell, I think he picked up where he left off last year. He throws the ball really well from the pocket, good anticipation and good accuracy. He got off to a good start as well. So, look, this is a critical decision that AP and the coaching staff have to make tonight. Will go a long way in helping to decide that.
And Aiden O'Connell only had 1 drive last week, but Antonio Pierce did say this week that the goal is to name the starting quarterback when this game is over tonight against the Dallas Cowboys. And the question will be how much of it comes down to how those guys play tonight. We only saw O'Connell for 1 drive last week. Will we see it completely flipped? I guess the script will tell tonight against the Dallas Cowboys. All right, it's time to get things going here inside Allegiant Stadium and get the festivities underway. And with that in mind, we send it down to the PA announcer, Eric Smith.
At this time, we ask that you continue standing for the national anthem. Here to present our nation's colors is the Rancho High School's Junior ROTC Honor Guard. And now, to perform the Star-Spangled Banner, please welcome 5-time Grammy Award winner, Layla Hathaway.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars rule the perilous fight? O'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Ladies and gentlemen, Layla Hathaway. Fans, please direct your attention to the Paris-style end. This past May, Raider Nation and the world of professional football lost a legend when Jim Otto, Double O, passed away. Jim was the personification of consistency and a foundational piece of the Silver and Black success, helping build the organization's persona and mystique, beginning with the inception of the franchise in 1960. The original Raider started a remarkable 210 consecutive league games for the Oakland Raiders, which remains a franchise record today, and was the American Football League's only all-star center for the entirety of the AFL's 10-season existence. He was a first-ballot Pro Football Hall of Famer, a man with a ferocious work ethic and a talent whose words and actions epitomize the motto, commitment to excellence. His wife Sally is here with their grandkids to light the torch in honor of and in tribute to Jim Otto and Al Davis. Declared that the fire that burns the brightest in the Raiders organization is the will to win. Ladies and gentlemen, the Otto family. And now, tonight's coin toss.
A memory of Jim Otto, and the Raiders will wear the helmet decal all season long for 00. Just the third time Raiders players will wear the helmet decal. Al Davis is on there the entire time. John Madden back in 2021 and after he passed away. But Rich, you got to know Jim Otto very well.
Yeah, one of the toughest and greatest Raiders ever. I mean, you think about a 15-year career as a Raider, so durable, dependable, inducted into the Pro Football Hall of Fame in 1980, named to the NFL's 100th anniversary all-time team. And, you know, he was so good to me, Jason, when I came to the Raiders. He was a mentor to so many of the young players. I remember sitting in the equipment room and him telling stories about the glory days. There'll never be another Jim Otto. And just as great a player as he was an even better person.
And he's so important to this organization. He stuck around all throughout his life. He was here week 18 when the Raiders beat the Broncos to end last season. Last time for Antonio Pierce before he became the permanent head coach. Al Davis and Jim Otto so tied together. This is what Mr. Davis had to say about Jim Otto back in the mid-90s.
We had Jim Otto, who represents tradition, history. There are so few people left in our culture, whether it be college or pro sport, someone who represents tradition, someone who gives the underdog a chance, someone who stands up for conviction, someone who's maverick, someone who inspires in others the will to be great.
Well, the Raiders will never forget Jim Otto, and they will honor him all season long with those zeros on the back of their helmets right next to those letters for Mr. Al Davis. Well, we are set to go here in preseason game number 2. The Raiders won the toss. Antonio Pierce, he wants to put that offense on the field first. Brandon Aubrey set to kick it away. Remember, this is the new NFL dynamic kickoff. Your teammates are at the 40. Nobody can move until the ball lands in the landing zone or someone touches it. It's caught by Alexander Madison, and here he comes out to the 25. And he's tripped up right there, which is where the Raiders will take over. And Gardner Minshew getting the start this week. And Rich, as we talked about from the onset, it doesn't all come down to one game, but it feels like tonight's going to determine the starter.
Well, I think both quarterbacks know what's at stake. This organization has to make a decision. You've got to go into the third week of the preseason knowing who that starter is, be able to increase the reps, get him ready for that opener against the Chargers. So I think both Gardner Minshew and Aiden O'Connell realize what's at stake.
And the Raiders are playing their starters pretty much across the board. Anyone who's healthy, they are playing tonight. We won't see Devontae Adams. He did miss practice one night this week. We won't see Brock Bowers either, but everybody else that is healthy is playing tonight for the Raiders.
And the Cowboys are not playing their starters.
Minshew's going to pass. Found his second option. It was Michael Mayer over the middle. They'll pick up 4 yards. Wrapped up by a host of Cowboys led by Willie Harvey. It'll bring up a second down.
And that's where Gardner Minshew has to learn to trust the protection and sit in there. Nice job with some push up in his face. We talked about this last week a little bit, Jason. He's not the biggest guy. He's only 6'1". And the challenge for him is always going to be being comfortable and being productive from the pocket.
He's got Zamir White in the backfield. Jacoby Myers and DJ Turner both at the bottom of the screen. White gets the handoff. Nice hole through the left side. Zamir White out to the 46-yard line. Into the Cowboys secondary, brought down by Marquise Bell. That's a pickup of 17 on the ground.
A really nice job up front with this with this movement at the point of attack, and then you're just going to see the back. I mean, that's a great look and hold. You watch the left side of that offensive line get great movement at the point of attack.
And remember, Rich, Colton Miller still on the PUP list, so he has not come back from the shoulder surgery yet. They're saying he's close, but you've got two veterans on that left side. Andrus Peat in his 10th year out of Stanford, along with Cody Whitehair starting at left guard, who came over from Chicago in his 9th year. Fresh set of downs for Minshew, looking for the deep ball. He's got Myers, and he's hit right when the ball got there at the 35-yard line. Wanye Thomas, the 2nd year out of Georgia Tech, made the stick right at the perfect time.
Well, he's going to look at this one and said, you know what, I should have thrown the deep ball. He's got a chance. You just watch this safety. He's got the post route, and for some reason he tries to throw the crosser. And that backside corner and safety drive on it, but he had a chance to have it hit the big one over the top, just missed it.
Well, in this Cowboys secondary last week against the Rams, picked off Stetson Bennett 4 times. So it is an opportunistic defense. Last year, again, these aren't their starters, but they had 26 takeaways last year. And two quick throw out to Myers, and it's over his shoulder into the flat, so it'll be 3rd and long. Rich, your scouting report on Gardner Minshew.
Well, let's take a look at Gardner Minshew. We talked a little bit about his size, but where he's at his best is his ability to create and manufacture some plays on his own when things break down around him. He's got a ton of confidence. Where he struggles a little bit is functioning from the pocket. And I think that's the big challenge for him, is to be able to be really productive and efficient throwing from the well.
And he was great last week on 3rd down. The Raiders converted 5 of their first 6 third downs. He has not started strong tonight, 1 of 3. Quick throw, Trey Tucker has some space, but a couple of Cowboys meet him at the 47-yard line. They're about 3 yards shy. Richard, break down what you saw last week.
Yeah, I thought he did some really good things coming in. We talked about the play action. This is a great shot to DJ Turner. Look at the anticipation, throwing the ball away from the safety, using the entire field. And then this is after a delay of game penalty. He comes right back on 3rd and 11. Look at him stare down the safety, and then you get a real sense for Gardner Minshew's arm talent. I mean, this was a great shot to Trey Tucker.
And Rich, preseason, they're trying to figure out who's going to be the starter. 4th and 3 on the Cowboys 47. They're going for it. Unless they're for the hard count. Down to 3 on the play clock. They are going for it. Minshew settles. Bad throw. Should have been picked off by Willie Harvey. And the Raiders turn it over on downs.
I meant to say Trey Turner. That right there is just not seeing the flat defender. You've got to be able to see that linebacker. He's staring down the eyes of Gardner Minshew the entire time.
Las Vegas Raiders football is brought to you by Allegiant, the official airline of the Las Vegas Raiders. Low fares, nonstop flights. Book now only at Allegiant.com. Credit One Bank, the official credit card of the Las Vegas Raiders. Arma Automotive, official luxury EV vehicle of the Las Vegas Raiders. Modelo, a reward for those with a fighting spirit. The mark of a fighter. Drink responsibly. Imported by Crown Imports, Chicago, Illinois. And by Travel Nevada, 100 yards or 60 million acres. Find the space to be. TravelNevada.com. Antonio Pierce has consistently said this is Las Vegas, got to put on a show. Gardner Minshew will have another chance, but the first drive didn't go that well.
Couple missed opportunities there when he looked back on it, for sure.
Cooper Rush gets the start for the Cowboys. It's a run up the middle with Malik Davis. And the ground game was certainly an emphasis this week in practice, Rich. They were not happy how the defense played against the Vikings rushing attack.
No, it gave up too many big runs, and this will be a good test for them. Even though the Cowboys aren't playing their starters up front, this is a big physical offensive line. They come off and they get a lot of double teams at the point of attack. This will be a good challenge for this Raiders front seven.
Yeah, as much of a focal point as the quarterback competition has been, there was a lot of emphasis on the struggles. Cooper Rush with the QB sneak and a first down, which they gave up over 120 yards on the ground in the first half last week to Minnesota.
Yeah, just some missed assignments, some guys not playing and with the right fits, not getting off at blocks. And that's, it's just getting it cleaned up and coming back tonight and having a cleaner performance defensively.
John Jenkins, Christian Wilkins, two big men in the middle of that defensive line. Wilkins, the big free agent signing from Miami. Rush going to put it in the air. Raiders came with a blitz, and it's broken up. Jack Jones with a great break on the ball on Jalen Brooks and knocked it out of his hands.
Just watch Jack Jones use that right arm. He just punches. He gets a hold of the receiver with the left arm. But watch the right hand. Watch him punch. It's really a nice job there by Jones.
We talked to Jacoby Myers yesterday, the offensive side of the ball, but he was in New England when Jack Jones was a rookie. And he said he was afraid of him then, and everybody knows when he's near the ball, he thinks it's his every time. Hunter Lipke is the fullback in for the Cowboys. They run it with Davis again, and guess who? Max Crosby fought through the stiff arm, and Nate Hobbs cleaned it up.
Well, he just makes the tight end miss. I mean, you're just asking for trouble when you put a tight end to try and block Max Crosby. You see him at the top of the screen. He just does the swim move, the arm over, and he's in the backfield. The thing I love about Max Crosby, we think so much about the pass rusher. He is a complete player at that position. He plays the run as well as any defensive end in football.
3rd and 10. Raiders bring just 4. Rush had a clean pocket. Jack Jones batted it out of the air. It's caught, but Robert Spillane was right there to make sure that did not get near the markers. Jalen Tolbert caught it off the deflection. They did pick up 6.
Jason, we're talking about Jack Jones. As a quarterback, you have to be careful when you throw the ball in his direction. He does a great job driving on the ball. Very aggressive corner. He's going to take some chances, and he's extremely dangerous. Cowboys very fortunate that this ball went their way.
That could have been 2 interceptions in back-to-back weeks for Jack Jones. Instead, it allows the Cowboys to bring on Brandon Aubrey. Last year, a rookie, Pro Bowler, 36 of 38. He had his first 35 field goals to start his career, and a Dallas record 157 points. This is a 54-yarder, and it is good. So one of the best in the game puts the Cowboys on the board. Antonio Pierce's defense gave up 1 big play and came up with a nice stop with its starters on the field. $3-0 here in the first quarter. Cowboys have the lead. Brandon Aubrey set to kick it away to DJ Turner and Amir Abdullah. This is a shorter kickoff that Turner's going to let bounce out of bounds.
Big mistake.
Yeah. So that, like it has in past years, will come out to the 40-yard line of many things.
Bounds. Kicking team number 17. By rule, the ball is placed at the 40-yard line. First down.
Great starting field position for Gardner Minshew and this offense on the second drive. Got to clean up some of the mistakes, Jason. We were talking a little bit about it. Just, some footwork issues, just missing some throws. Game going a little bit fast for him in that first series. Got to settle in as a quarterback. You got to get your team off to a good start. It's all about trusting the protection, staying in rhythm, and making good decisions.
He pumps. He takes a deep shot. Tucker is open. And he had to wait for it, but he came down with it. He saw him. If he kept him to the corner, he might have scored. But instead, it's a deep ball to Tucker again.
Really nice job off the play action. And I thought he might throw the crossing route, but we saw what happened on the first series. You're going to see Trey Tucker right at the top of your screen. He's going to head to the post. This is a really good job by Minshew, giving him some space, using the field. And Trey Tucker has got some rare speed at the wide receiver position.
Yeah, Trey Tucker last week had a 44-yard grab. That one goes for 48. A handoff to White with the cutback, and he's wrapped up in the backfield and brought down. Maris Leofau, the rookie, the third-round pick out of Notre Dame, with the tackle for the Cowboys.
And regardless of who plays quarterback for the Raiders, the running game is going to be absolutely critical. And especially when you get down this field. We're talking to defensive coordinator Patrick Graham about this. He said, look, the good red zone teams have the ability to run the ball in this part of the field. Something that was a bit of a problem for the Raider offense a season ago. They've got to be more efficient down in the scoring zone.
And again, no Devontae Adams tonight, no Brock Bowers tonight. But Gardner Minshew, can he put this one in? He's trying to throw it, and he's out of the pocket, being chased. And it's too far in front of Tucker. Big time pressure from behind. Marshawn Nealon, second-round pick out of Western Michigan, had the pressure, and it'll be 3rd down and 9 for Minshew.
It's a good decision there by Gardner Minshew, trying to throw the post route. The safety doesn't bite. It's not there. He tries to get outside and just throws the ball away.
Now, Gardner Minshew last week led 3 scoring drives. He had touchdowns on each of his first 2. He started the game tonight. They stalled to a 4th down near midfield. Empty set. Minshew pumps, throws well over the head of Jacoby Myers. And it looked like he thought it was coming to his outside shoulder. It went over his inside shoulder. And now the Raiders will kick the field goal.
They just threw it a little bit early. And those are the throws you have to make. When you get them open, you got to hit them.
So Daniel Carlson, who was 3 of 3 last week, he looked like he was in midseason form. Drilled a 56-yarder. This just from 29. One of the best of the game to try and knot up this preseason game here in Las Vegas. And a line drive is home. Well, the 48-yard pass to Trey Tucker set it up, and Carlson knocks it through to tie it up at 3. Enjoy an upscale experience in a suite at Allegiant Stadium. Individual rentals are now available for all events. Benefits range from lavish food and beverage options, VIP entrances, and access to the 100 and 200 level clubs. Securing your suite now by visiting suites.raiders.com for more details. You and I are on the 200 level, right next to some of those clubs.
That's how we roll, brother.
Yeah. They put us in good spots here at home.
This is a beautiful broadcast booth. Good sight lines, high enough.
Yeah, when they built this stadium, they certainly took care of us, the media and the broadcasters. Down here on the TV side during the regular season, up there in the David Hum broadcast booth, up on the 4th floor, but right there on the 50-yard line, it's perfect. So we We saw a lot of different things on the new dynamic kickoff last week from Carlson, including booting it through the end zone. This one down to the goal line. Tyron Billy Johnson trying to break it to the outside, and he can't get past the 25. Isaiah Polamau, who has had a wonderful preseason with the special teams tackle, and that is where Cooper Rush will get his second series.
And keep in mind, a lot of these players aren't necessarily playing for a starting job. They're playing to make the team, and one of the ways you make the team as a young player is your contributions in the kicking game. They're looking for players that can cover, players that can tackle in space, players that can block.
And they're looking to see who's going to be the depth in this secondary. Royce Freeman, Marcus Epps came up to make the tackle. Malcolm Kuntz in there as well. Royce Freeman, 6th year out of Oregon, been around the league. Last year with the Rams. And we were talking with the folks with the Cowboys too. Trey Lance certainly was a headline when he got traded last year, but Cooper Rush is the guy behind Dak Prescott.
Yeah, there's no question about that. We're going to see a lot of Trey Lance, but they really like Cooper Rush. Trey Lance just needs experience. Didn't play a lot of football in college at North Dakota State.
Rush settles in. Flag flies from behind. That was caught. Luke Schoonmaker. Marcus Epps said it hit the ground, but there's a flag that flew from the backfield. And the Cowboys are marching backwards.
Illegal use of hands in the face. Offense number 79. It's a 10-yard penalty. Second down.
I think that might have been on Max. The tackle got the hands up in the face of Max Crosby.
Yeah, Matt, well, let's go.
Top of your screen. See it right there? Let's go, but I'll tell you what, you got to hold on for dear life when you try and block 98, don't you?
All right.
That's an all-day sucker.
And Max has been moving around the line much more the last couple of years. He's lined up over the left side. Rush settles in the pocket, threw it behind, and it's incomplete. Trayvon Merrick was right there with Schoonmaker. Rich, we saw Merrick all over the field in the couple series he played last week.
You know, I really like these safeties. I mean, they come down with a purpose. You know, they come down to strike you. They do a great job in run support. They're good communicators. They cover a lot of ground on the back end. I think this defense has a chance to be really, really good. The biggest question mark is the depth at the cornerback position. If you're going to play great defense, you need great pass rushers and cover corners.
They're going to run it on 3rd and forever. Royce Freeman's got Robert Spillane bringing him down at the initial line of scrimmage at the 25. And so the Cowboys will come out to punt for the first time. And again, we don't know how long we'll see the defensive starters throughout the game tonight, but Antonio Pierce has said all along, if you're healthy, you are playing this year in the preseason.
I think it's important. Now, you're trying to create an identity as a football team, right? And you want to win. And I think winning in the preseason matters. And I think playing, getting some experience together. You've got some new players. Communication's so important.
Brian Anger, the high kick that Tucker waits for. A 55-yard punt, and Tucker trying to get the edge. Flags fly everywhere. This is coming back. The Trey Tucker trying to provide some excitement. And he does take it out near midfield on a 28-yard return. But there were 3 flags thrown right in the area where he got a little bit of space.
That's too bad.
During the return, illegal block in the back. Receiving team number 92. It's a 10-yard penalty. Las Vegas keeps the ball first down. Timeout.
Yeah, it's right in the middle of the screen, right here.
Yeah, Ellerson Smith there with the block in the back. Well, penalties were not an issue last week. One of the things the Raiders were very happy about. Gardner. Las Vegas Raiders football is brought to you by Allegiant, the official airline of the Las Vegas Raiders. Low fares, non-stop flights. Book now only at Allegiant.com. Jason Horowitz, Rich Gannon back with you inside Allegiant Stadium. Gardner Minshew got the start tonight after Aiden O'Connell started last week in Minnesota. It's his 3rd drive. And he hands it off to Alexander Madison, who cuts back over the middle and falls forward for about 4. Justin Rogers, a rookie defensive tackle, on the stop. Rich, your takeaways, 2 drives for Minshew, He's 3 of 8 for 60 yards. The big pass play to Trey Tucker went for 48 of those.
Yeah, I just think he's leaving some plays out there, right? When you go back and you look at it, you miss a throw early, you miss a third down throw down in the red zone, and this is how we're being evaluated. Every play out, these coaches are looking at footwork, decision making, anticipation, accuracy.
Minshew on the rollout, nice lead. The Turner, but a solid tackle. Andrew Booth, he was traded from the Vikings to the Cowboys the day before the game in Minnesota. Came up to make the stop on DJ Turner.
Gardner does the right thing here, gets the ball in the flat to Turner. This is just a good play. Really a good tackle by the corner.
By the way, I like that Antonio Pierce had the Sharpie in the mouth. He looks like all of us when we're thinking hard, trying to figure out what we want to do.
These are big decisions, trust me.
Who's going to quarterback the Raiders? We expect to find out after this game. Third down for Minshew. Michael Mayer's got the first down. Out to the 30. It's a pickup of 9. They'll move the chains.
I really like Michael Mayer. I think he's going to be so much better in year 2. You just look at the patience. He starts him outside, works back underneath. He's a big target for Gardner Minshew. Good accuracy there.
Second round pick last year out of Notre Dame. He missed the last 3 games with an injury. His most memorable play, the touchdown that ended up beating the Jets on Sunday Night Football. At the time, got the Raiders to 5-5. Minshew's got a nice pocket. Nowhere to go with the football. And it was batted down in his face. Wanye Thomas came up to knock it out of the air. It'll bring up 2nd and long. Well, initially the pocket was clean, Rich, but it changed towards the end.
This is the thing that Gardner Minshew gives you. You know, his ability to extend plays. Extremely athletic, good mobility. Guy that can be very dangerous once he gets on the edge of a defense.
Stood up at the line. Again, it's the rookie, Marshawn Nealand. And you know, Rich, they had the 17-yard Zamir White run on the opening drive, which was a great cutback. But I think you also thought maybe against the backups for the Cowboys, the offensive line might be able to get more of a push.
We talked about the importance of running the ball, especially on the early downs. And we talked about his running back room, Jason. It's been extremely competitive. Zamir White, Alexander Madison, and Miradula, Dylan Lauby. Tough decisions to make there as well.
Yeah, you got a lot of playmakers in the backfield. Raiders 1 of 3 here in the opening quarter on 3rd down. Minshew to the outside. He threw it low, and Tucker went down to grab it. First down for the Raiders. And Rich, Trey Tucker is becoming an integral part of this offense here in the preseason.
And this is a really good throw by Gardner Minshew because of the anticipation. He gets this thing out early before Trey Tucker is even out of the break. And using the boundary. Good throw there by Gardner Minshew. A great job by Trey Tucker going down and getting it.
Now, Trey Tucker came on at the end of last season, his rookie year out of Cincinnati. And we've got whistles that are going to stop this. And Mike McCarthy is throwing the preseason challenge flag.
Let's see if he caught that ball without his shoulder pads.
The ruling on the field was a complete pass. Dallas has challenged that ruling. Timeout.
So they will take a look at this.
I don't know if there's any question he caught it. The question is, was part of his body out of bounds? You watch him on the boundary here. That knee is down. Both knees are down.
Ball's not moving.
Yeah, I think he's got it. I think maybe McCarthy was trying to figure out whether that ball was moving. I think he clearly has possession.
Now, so they look at this, Rich, but the Trey Tucker part of this offense, right? You know, Devontae Adams, one of the best receivers in the game. Jacoby Myers had a great first year with everyone talking about the 2 tight ends with Michael Mayer and the rookie Brock Bowers. But Trey Tucker might be one of the keys, Rich, to this offense having the explosive play.
You know, they've got a lot of speed on the perimeter. You know, you think about Devontae Adams not even in uniform tonight, Trey Tucker, DJ Turner, Jacoby Myers. These guys can go get the ball. And we're talking a little bit about the tight end position, how exciting that group's going to be with Michael Mayer and Brock Bowers. I think Mayer's going to make Bowers a better player. I think Bowers is going to make Mayer a better player. Having them both on the field at the same time with the speed that you have on the edge.
After review, the ruling on the field stands. Dallas is charged with their first timeout and their first challenge.
Yeah, this is where I think he's gotten a lot better. He's caught a lot of balls this offseason from the jug machine, and I think he's got possession of it. I think he does a great job squeezing and holding on the boundary.
Trey Tucker can see better this year too.
That's a big story.
That LASIK surgery in the offseason, said last year was the first time he ever dealt with drops in his career, and now so they can see the football. Set up the screen. It's the tight end Mayer. Cannot get away from the second defender. So about just one on the screen set up to the tight end. But yeah, seeing is an important part of the game for a wide receiver.
I played with the receiver in Minnesota, Jake Reed, and we'd throw him slant routes on the left side and he'd drop all of them. On the right side, he'd catch all of them. And one of our offensive coordinators, Tom Moore, who's still coaching in the NFL, he said, hey, look, you know, there's something wrong with this kid's eyes. So sometimes a simple thing like that can make a huge difference, especially when it comes to trying to catch the ball.
Second and officially 8. Nice hole there for Madison. He finds the contact, keeps it going, and he's right near the marker. Now, a flag did come in late. It was thrown from the secondary.
Holding. Offense number 83. It's a 10-yard penalty. Second down.
That is Christian Wilkerson
at the point of attack. Had a little bunch set. Yeah, right here. Keep those hands in. It's too bad. It was a good-looking run.
Well, that was last year in Dallas, Rich, the third preseason game where Christian Wilkerson had 10 grabs for over 120 yards. And not to say that that was the be-all, end-all, but he made the initial 53-man roster after that game. And there is still a spot, right? How many of the receivers are they going to keep? DJ Turner's had a great camp. You know about Adams, Tucker, and Myers. Who will be number 4? Who will be number 5? Will they keep a 6? Certainly stories to follow these last couple of preseason games. So 2nd and 15 after the penalty. Minshew escapes the pocket. Madison has to go down to make the grab. And Butler will spot him there inbounds as we dip inside of 2 minutes here in the opening quarter.
You can see a lot of that with Gardner Minshew. He gets some push. He does a good job finding gaps in the pass rush, stepping up and stepping out.
We'll get to the new offensive coordinator. We got O's and talks about Mike McCarthy a lot with some of his influences, how he calls plays. 3rd and 11 here for Gardner Minshew, who's hit 5 of his last 6 passes. Out of the pocket, eyes downfield. Points, throws, incomplete. He put that into a danger zone, and it was knocked out of there by Israel Mukwamu.
That was a risky decision by Gardner Minshew. Sometimes the best play, the only play, is to throw it away and live for another day. He gets some push up inside. He's trying to find somebody open, but I don't like this decision. He's just throwing this one down. This is like a Hail Mary throw. That could have been easily intercepted. It's a good job by Michael Mayer getting his hands in there and knocking it away.
So A.J. Cole, who averaged 52 yards a boot last week, with a 50-yard punt and a solid return. Jalen Cropper brings it out to the 30, but there is a flag down back at the 14-yard line. Fritz Smith, who was pretty good in special teams last year on the tackle.
During the return, holding, receiving team number 29. It's half the distance to the goal line. First down, Cowboys.
And Trey Lance comes out for Dallas here towards the end of the first quarter. Cooper Rush got the first couple of drives. He was 1 of 3 for 6 yards. But, Rich, last week, Trey Lance played pretty much the whole game against the Rams. And he threw the ball 41 times last week.
I talked to Cowboys head coach Mike McCarthy before the game, and they're excited about this young player. Didn't play a lot of high school football, only played the 1 season in North Dakota State. Got hurt his rookie year with the 49ers. They feel he's got a chance to be a player. But he needs reps, he needs experience, and that's why you saw him throw the ball a bunch last week. I think we're going to see him put it up a lot here tonight as well. Good opportunity against this #1 defense.
He's backed up inside the 10 after the penalty. Deuce Vaughn, the handoff. He squirts through the middle. And he's out to the 15-yard line with Tyree Wilson. Check that Divine Diablo making the stop.
This is a good test tonight for the Raiders. You know, you look at this Cowboys team, they've won at least 12 games in each of the last 3 seasons. Unfortunately, they get blown out at home by the Packers in the playoffs, left a kind of a bad taste in their mouth. It's a team that's done well in the regular season, but has struggled in the postseason.
Back to Vaughn. He scampers through the defense. And Deuce Vaughn out to the 27, so they were backed up to the 9. But on back-to-back runs, Vaughn gains 18, which may bring us to the end of the first quarter.
Yeah, watch the safety insert. He's got to stay outside. Max is going to get double-teamed at the point of attack, and watch the back. He's going to wind this one all the way back. But you got your safety, Merrick, who takes a poor angle at the point of attack.
So that has brought us to the end of the first quarter. The Raiders and the Cowboys tied at 3. You're watching Raiders football presented by Credit One Bank, the official credit card of the Las Vegas Raiders. Visit CreditOneBankTravel.com. Gambler, speaking of Daniel Carlson, game-winning 29-yard field goal in overtime there in Dallas in Thanksgiving 2021. Raiders were struggling in the middle part of that season. That was a game they were not expected to win. They had a lead for most of that game. And Carlson and the Raiders went on to win the final 4 games of the year and make the playoffs after that thrilling overtime game here against the Chargers. And you know what a luxury it is, Rich, to have both kickers, Daniel Carlson and A.J. Cole. It's not something they have to worry about.
No, and you love his range, and you love his accuracy and his consistency. He didn't miss a single extra point last season for the Raiders. Had some game winners, and does a great job with his kickoffs as well. Back in the old days with the kickoffs where he kicked everything out of the end zone, where he had great hang time. Now, I think the strategy is really going to change with the new kickoff rule. I think these kickers are going to try and position the ball down around the goal line and try and pin him back.
Well, it's kicking too. And you think about where Daniel Carlson's career started. Remember, he was drafted by the Vikings. 5th-round pick in 2018. It did not go well. And the Raiders signed him in October of that season. And at the moment, the rest is history.
I think a lot of it's confidence. I think a lot of it's confidence. You know, that first year, he missed some kicks. He missed some game winners. He's been a different kicker here the last couple of years.
Start of the second quarter, Trey Lance, the Cowboys had a couple of nice runs. He's taking a deep shot, working against Jacorian Bennett, who is in fantastic position. Adam Butler had the pressure on Trey Lance, but a nice job by the second-year corner out of Maryland.
And if you're going to pressure, you better have some corners that can hold up outside. You're going to see the blitz up inside. Great coverage down here at the bottom of the screen. These cornerbacks have worked all week. They have great speed. No one's going to run by them. So being disciplined, not panicking, and doing a good job turning and locating the football. Well done by Bennett.
Lance keeps it. Crosby hops over Jack Jones, and Trey Lance got around the Condor out to the 34, so he picked up 6 or 7. But you just brought up a point about your hands, right? They have so much faith in Jack Jones and Jacorian Bennett on the outside with their speed to try and make sure don't touch the guys with your hands.
Yeah, don't panic. You know, I think part of it is eye discipline, Jason. I think trusting your speed, not panicking, doing a good job locating the ball in the air. He works so much on technique and fundamentals on the perimeter.
They gave Lance 8 officially on that run, so it's 3rd and 2.
Comes the blitz.
They come with the blitz. He throws it high, and Jones with another breakup. He broke on the ball quickly, got right on the rookie Ryan Flournoy, and he's got his 3rd pass defended in the first half.
This guy is a handful. I mean, I love him. He plays with a chip on his shoulder. He's not afraid to show up and run support. But he's a very aggressive corner. Watch him drive. He almost runs the route for the receiver. He is a confident corner. That's what the Raiders need. They need more like Jack Jones.
Tucker waiting for it, but he catches it with his left foot out of bounds. I don't know why the whistle didn't blow. Now it does. Trey Tucker knew that his left foot was out of bounds. He didn't move.
He was waiting on the official to blow the whistle.
A 50-yard punt and nothing on the return. Look at his left foot here.
Right there. Boom. Should have blown the whistle.
It's like that scene in the movie Necessary Roughness. Blow the whistle! Blow the whistle! Well, Gardner Minshew started tonight. 8 of 15. And he is still in the ball game here to start the second quarter. So the 4th drive for Gardner Minshew. We will see Aiden O'Connell at some point, we expect, in the first half. He throws it nicely out to the tight end, Harrison Bryant. He picks up 7 out to the 20-yard line. The free agent signee from the Cleveland Browns in his 5th year out of Florida Atlantic.
It's a good chance this is the last drive of the night for Gardner Minshew. He's got to make this one count. I think it's been a mixed bag, Jason, so far here in the first half. He's done some good things. He's missed some throws. Got to slam the door in this competition if you want to win it.
And that's what the Raiders have been looking for. They've been looking for someone to do just that all preseason. Minshew taking a deep shot for Tucker. And he turned inside. The ball was thrown outside. It'll be 3rd down again.
I think Tucker could have helped him there. He was late with his eyes. There was a little bit of indecision by the receiver. Just watch. He doesn't look back. He's got to turn around. He has to turn his eyes earlier and find the ball.
It's pretty good coverage there by Eric Scott, too, 2nd-year pro out of Southern Miss. Well, if this is in fact Gardner Minshew's final drive of the night, and put something special together. Cowboys bring a blitz. He settles outside, and it's incomplete. DJ Turner, the intended receiver. Keemon Hall out there in coverage. And A.J. Cole will come on to punt. And again, Rich, we talked about this from the outset. The decision is not going to be made based on tonight alone. But it is the last thing you're putting out there before what is the said decision point.
Yeah, we had a great conversation with Antonio Pierce on Friday, and he talked about the fact that they have over 1,200 reps to evaluate. Oh, great punt.
A 64-yard boot, and it drives Cropper back. And he lost the ball! Raiders have it. They say they're on it at the 23. A beautiful punt. And if the Raiders have it, they're put in good position. And they do.
That's Amir Abdullah. I think he gets his arm in there, Jason, and strips that ball.
Now the Cowboys do have it.
Watch Abdullah come in here. I think he's the one that strips it.
Yeah, and there's DJ Turner on top of it.
That's a great coverage. That's a great job by the coverage unit.
Now, Rich, it was Darius Harris who, when the pile broke, he came out of there for the Cowboys with the football. But, and again, you can't tell what goes on underneath there, but that looked absolutely like DJ Turner was on top of the football.
Early on the field as the ball was fumbled and recovered by the Raiders, it's 1st down.
Now remember, all turnovers are replayed upstairs, so Mike McCarthy does not have to challenge that. But I don't know what there would be to take a look at that and change that, so there won't.
Great field position here.
Well, this is situational football, right? What do you do out of Sudden changes.
Usually take a shot.
Dylan Laube was in the backfield, the rookie who's now in the slot. Minshew throws it the other way to one of his tight ends. And a short gain, John Samuel Schenker on the ground.
I'm talking to Antonio Pearson. One thing he was really pleased with the offense last year was just some of the mechanics. Luke Getsy did a great job getting the plays into the quarterbacks quickly. And as a quarterback, you love that, Jason. I want to play early. I want to be able to give some tips and reminders to some of the players in the huddle. I want to be able to get up the line of scrimmage with plenty of time to change the protection, to change the play, to see the front and coverage. And the offensive coordinator can really help you with that, getting the play in quick.
On second down, Minshew again escapes the pocket. And he takes off. And he scrambles for a nice gain to get inside the 20-yard line. He picked up 5 yards with his legs. Antonio Pierce said 18 to 19 seconds is where we want to break the huddle, and that's where they broke on that play.
A nice job by sitting in there and getting what you can get, not taking the violent hit on the boundary. Another big third down. This may be 4-down territory in the preseason.
Two receivers in. That's Alex Bachman, who goes in motion. On 3rd and 6. Minshew dumps it short.
A little screen.
Yeah, they were looking for Laube, but it hit the helmet of Dylan Parham, the guard. But to your point, Rich, they're going for it. The offense is staying on the field.
Yeah, that one just took a while to develop. That's unfortunate. Laube got caught up in the wash. But this is what you get in the preseason, right? You get a chance to, you want to look at a quarterback. You want to look at some situational football. And normally in the regular season, you kick the field goal here.
Then Minshew capitalized on the takeaway by the punt team. On 4th and 6. Settles, fires. Oh, Bryant looked like he tripped out of the break and he threw it high. Rich, he had him open.
Yeah, it looks like he stumbles a little bit there, but man, you gotta put it on him. You gotta give a chance to
Burt on the takeaway by the punt team. 3-3, 11:33 to go. Jason Horowitz, Rich Gannon. In Minnesota last week, Rich, so much good out of the offense and the starters in the first half. Haven't felt the same way yet tonight.
Some missed opportunities, no question about it. You look at Gardner Minshew, 10 of 21 in the first half. Jason, we were talking about it. Over 1,200 reps that these quarterbacks have had in the preseason, OTAs, mini camps, training camps. So they've got a pretty good sense of who they are. But I just thought that Gardner Minshew had a chance to come in here tonight and really kind of slam the door. He didn't do that. And I just think there's an opportunity here in the second half for Aiden O'Connell to come out here and get nice against some young players on defense for the Cowboys. I think Aiden O'Connell's got a real chance to win this job here tonight.
Trey Lance crosses body. Luke Schoonmaker is drilled by Divine Diablo. And again, for Gardner Minshew, last week had the majority of the snaps after the opening drive, all of them in the first half. And he put together 3 scoring drives, including 2 touchdowns last week.
I think you know what you have with Gardner Minshew. I think with Aiden O'Connell, I think there's more upside, right? I think as a young player last year, he did some really good things. I think he throws the ball better from the pocket. I think he's got a really good opportunity here tonight if he comes in, whether it's before the half or in the third quarter, to really show that he can be that guy week 1.
And again, the Raiders starters are still on the field here with 10:40 to go in the second quarter. Antonio Pierce told us to expect that throughout the first half, maybe into the third quarter as well.
A lot of coaches want to see these guys play and then go into the locker room at halftime and come back and play in the second half. Maybe not every starter, but a lot of them.
They're down in 5. Dallas 0 for 3 on third down in the opening half. Trey Lance behind the receiver and incomplete.
And this is a knock on Trey Lance, is the accuracy. Talking to a couple Cowboy coaches earlier before the game, he just misses too many receivers. When you have them open in this league, you got to hit them. This has to be on the front number. It can't be on the back shoulder, especially against tight coverage.
he puts that on the front number. Divine Diablo might lay out Jalen Cropper.
Nate Hobbs right there. I like how these corners are playing. They are closing the door.
So far the defense has given up 58 yards. That's it. Tucker waiting for it.
He's got room.
He does have room. Tries the sideline. Stays in bounds. Trey Tucker. He has been electric here in the preseason. And he's got the Raiders set up inside the 35.
This guy's fun to watch. He doesn't need a lot of space on the boundary. He was tight-roping it down the boundary. He's a guy that can dramatically change field position.
Team out of bounds on his own. Kicking team number 80. That 5-yard penalty will be added to the end of the play. It'll be first down for the Raiders.
A 42-yard return for Trey Tucker. You add that to the 48-yard catch he had.
Well, we've got a new quarterback in the game.
Yes, we do. Aiden O'Connell. So he started last week. He was backed up on the opening drive. Had the first drive, he went 15 plays, and that was all he got. Tonight he watched Gardner Minshew take the first 5 series. And he's coming out throwing over the middle. On the mark to Wilkerson inside the 15. That was a dime over the middle.
Aiden O'Connell really likes play action. He does a good job turning his back to the line of scrimmage. But watch this throw to Wilkerson. This is right on the screws.
And Rich, when you talked about Aiden O'Connell, one of the first things you said last week was accuracy.
Throws the ball really well from the pocket. He's got real arm talent, not a weakness on the field for him.
Toss plays, Zamir White, flag flies, got space. White chased down from behind. Buddy Johnson in his second year out of Texas A&M with the tackle, but we await the marker.
Holding. Offense number 61. 10-yard penalty. First down.
All right, that is Jordan Meredith. So the starters on the offensive line, on the interior of the offensive line, no longer in the ballgame.
That's where there's real competition on the interior of that offensive line. I don't know about that. I don't know. That was a pretty good block there by Meredith. He didn't even do anything. The guy went to the ground. They had gotten away with one there.
Andre James out of the game. Cody Whitehair out of the game. Andrews Pete out of the game. Thayer Munford has gone from the right side to the left side, and the rookie DJ Glaze is now the right tackle. O'Connell. Ooh, tough throw, and Zamir White was hung out to dry.
It's dangerous when you work from one side of the field all the way back to the other. Just late with your eyes. This is a dangerous throw. Booth, the cornerback for the Cowboys, was right there on White.
Bring him second down and 20 for the second-year pro out of Purdue. 10-game starter a year ago. He led the Raiders to a 5-5 record. As an open man, Cole Fotheringham turns it upfield. Actually, that's Samuel Shanker. And it'll be 3rd and long.
One thing I like about Aiden O'Connell, he doesn't panic. He's a young quarterback that has some poise. And when the rush gets to him, he seems to know where his quick answer throws are. Look, you know me, Jason. I don't have a horse in the race. I want one of these quarterbacks to play really well for the Raiders this year and play every game. I think that's important. Playing all 17, that's got to be the #1 goal for whoever lines up under center week 1.
Empty set, 3rd and 16. O'Connell has
throw.
Wilkerson. Cannot get past the defender. Andrew Booth has been a sure tackler for the Cowboys. And they got, though, inside the 10, so he picked up a bunch of those yards. But they are going to bring the kicking team on.
Oh, the penalty killed him. Pushed him back.
Well, the Raiders were set up beautifully after the long punt return by Trey Tucker.
Red zone offense hasn't been very good tonight, settling for way too many kicks in this part of the field. It was a problem last year as well.
Carlson hit from 29. He is good from 27. And the Raiders tack on 3 more. In a night where the quarterbacks are dueling to try and figure out who's going to start the year for Las Vegas. On his opening drive for 29 yards, penalty crushed the drive, settled for 3. The Raiders up 6-3. Daniel Carlson sets to kick it away. You know, Rich, we had an entire week of the new NFL dynamic kickoff, kicking from the 35, your teammates at the opposing 40. And remember, the NFL's whole goal in all this is to have more kickoff returns, but in a safer manner. And at least through 1 week of preseason, there were a few more dynamic returns of 40-plus yards.
Yeah, and remember, it's still the preseason. I think we're not seeing maybe as much strategy when it comes to the return game, but the NFL certainly wanting more explosive and exciting plays in the kickoff.
They don't get it there. Beautifully done by the Raiders on special teams. Ray Shad Williams down there to make the stop. And this is what we're talking about. Last year was the lowest in NFL history. Just 22% of kickoffs were returned, and the return average not that different from last week, but it's that third number, Rich. Last year only 45-yard returns, only 16 of them. You had a quarter of that in 1 preseason week.
Yeah, I think what really opened the eyes of the owners, you had a Super Bowl last year. We had 9 kickoffs and no returns. I think 8 of them were touchbacks. So there's a fine line between the exciting play and the safety of the play.
Hand off for Royce Freeman out to the 30. Divine Diablo on the stop. And again, your point about this being the preseason and special teams coordinators not wanting to show anything, we don't really know what this will look like in the regular season.
I get a sense, though, when you watch the kickers, to them it's like a chip shot. I think what they're trying to do is land the ball down around the goal line. I think you're going to start seeing them put a little bit more air on it. These guys have worked on that. But at the end of the day, you know, I think we're trying to discourage them obviously kicking the ball into the end zone, because that certainly affects starting field position.
On 2nd and 3, another run to Freeman. And he's going to be close to the marker. Spillane drove him back. That's the Jade Silvera in there. And, you know, we're starting to see a lot of pushing. The officials have had to get in there multiple times here in the first half. That continues here. Not all the Raiders starters on defense still playing here deep into the second quarter. Max Crosby, Christian Wilkins no longer on the field for Antonio Pierce, but the starting secondary still on the field. Starting linebackers and the rotation of the defensive line. I like this linebacking core. I mean, they come downhill with a purpose. You look at Spillane. He had a huge impact on this defense last year, coming over from Pittsburgh at free agency. He brought some toughness, some accountability, great communicator in the middle of that defense. Lance throws it, caught near side. Flournoy, Jack Jones with an extra shove. But the rookie picks up enough for the first down. Jack Jones doesn't like anybody catching the ball on him. He's playing a little bit of bail technique. He's got some help underneath from the linebacker. Watch him come down there. He's not happy. Another substantial first down run. And that, when we talked to Patrick Graham yesterday, the Raiders' third-year defensive coordinator, he said, look, we have to stop the run on 1st and 2nd down. We have to make them in 2nd and 3rd and passing situations. Here in the preseason yet, Rich, we have not seen that, for whatever that's worth. No, you can't let them run the ball on you. I mean, it's demoralizing for a defense. You can't have fun until you can stop the run. All these guys want to do is rush the passer, but you got to stop the run first. 5-yard run. They go back to Deuce Vaughn. He gets out of the initial wave, and he picks up another first down. It's a big offensive line they got in there. You got to be able to come off the double teams. You got to be able to set the edge, force these runs back up inside. You got a double team on the 3 technique there, and you see the back just gets lost behind that big offensive line. Well, and remember too, these are the players for the Cowboys trying to make the roster. Tyler Smith, Zach Martin, Terrence Steele, the regular starters not playing tonight, so who are going to be their backups? And these are all those guys trying to make a mark. That's caught. Flournoy in front of Jones. Luke Governor there to stop him immediately at the 36 as well. But Trey Lance putting together a nice drive here for the Cowboys.
He's an interesting prospect. You know, we talked about his inexperience. He just needs reps. I talked to some of the Cowboy coaches before the game. He played a lot last week. Jason, we saw him throw the ball a bunch. He's going to probably play the rest of the game and into the fourth quarter. They want to find out about this young quarterback who was a first-round pick of the 49ers a couple years ago.
Give it back to Deuce Vaughn. Spun away from Janaris Robinson. And Vaughn picks up the first down. You know, we're seeing a lot of this 5'5" running back in his second year out of Kansas State. Rich, he was so dynamic in his career at Kansas State. Just the second player ever in Big 12 history with 3,600 rushing yards and over 1,250 receiving yards.
And you mentioned his size. I mean, he gets lost behind that big offensive line. He's only 5'5", but he's got some power for a smaller back.
You may remember his dad, Chris,
was a
scout for the Cowboys. He's the one that made the call last year when Deuce was selected in the 6th round.
Some confusion here. You see the quarterback looking over at
Dallas. It's their
Mike
second and a
McCarthy.
half.
Mike McCarthy took over the play calling duties last year, and the offense really took off.
They had the best offense in the NFL last year. Timeout on the field. Raiders official YouTube page is your home for in-depth team coverage and exclusive player interviews with weekly shows hosted by Amber, Theo Harris, Eric Allen, James Jones, and our buddy JT the Brick. Plus, catch the Emmy Award-winning docu-series Behind the Shield, which follows the Raiders all season long. Had a panel this week with some UNLV students. I at Raiders headquarters in Henderson. Our Emmy Award-winning video production team talking about their experience and how blessed we all are to cover the silver and black and work for this organization, and they do a fantastic job. Out of the Dallas timeout, it's 1st and 10 for Trey Lance. 4 first downs on this drive. Looking to go to the air, he dumps it short. Flournoy again, and a solid hit by Jack Jones. Those two are making it very personal here on this drive, Rich.
18 against 18. This is well done by Jack Jones. Good eye discipline. Comes right down and keeps it to a minimal gain. The thing I like about Jack Jones, he will strike you on the boundary. Oh, great job here.
Lance got it away, and the tight end for the Cowboys picks up the first down.
Wow.
Schoonmaker gets enough to get in the red zone. It was Polamalu who got the pressure on Trey Lance, but he didn't panic.
No, he really did. You see the free blitzer, and the quarterback does a great job wheeling around and getting the ball to the tight end. You see Spillane come over there to try and make the play, but great adjustment by Trey Lance.
This is the 2-minute warning. Timeout.
So the Cowboys set up on the Raiders' 17-yard line last week. Silver and black defense at a great goal line stand. A lot of the focus on who the quarterback's going to be, but the defense trying to make some plays tonight too.
Everybody loves the know-it-all. This guru of the gridiron is full of wisdom beyond his stature.
Can anyone beat the Chiefs? Do you think the Eagles are for real?
Hey, son, what's my opinion on the NFC North?
Jordan Love is definitely winning MVP this year.
Only a fool wouldn't at least consider someone like Joe Cool Burrow. Are you a fool, Mr. Harrison?
Unbelievable. And with NFL Plus Premium, you too can be a football know-it-all.
Well, for every Raiders first down at Allegiant Stadium this year, America First Credit Union will donate $100 to a local charity. Pretty good crowd on hand inside Allegiant Stadium for the first home preseason game. Preseason game number 2. 1st and 10 for Trey Lance and the Cowboys. The handoff to Royce Freeman. Maybe picks up a couple. Diablo and Nestor Jade Silvera, who's made some nice plays here in the preseason. And, you know, you and I were talking during the break here, Richard, depending on here what happens on 2nd down. But maybe you start trying to, hey, can we get Aiden O'Connell a 2-minute drill?
Yeah, you'd love to get that. You also love to stop them here. You know, they spent a lot of time trying to shore up this red zone defense. It's been a point of emphasis this offseason.
It's a jet sweep to the receiver. He breaks out of a tackle, and he dives out of bounds. Jalen Cropper picks up close to the first down yardage. It'll be 3rd down and 1.
Marcus Epps had an opportunity. You're going to see him come down here first. And there's the miss.
Previous play is under review.
And he's just a bit short.
You may have heard our referee Alex Kemp say that the previous play is under review. Now remember, you may have heard this here during the offseason, but some of the preseason games this year, Rich, the NFL is trying out the Hawkeye technology to see if in fact a team does have a first down. Now it's not going to be used to help spot the ball here in the preseason and select games, only to check the measurement. And so we have not seen this yet ourselves in the preseason, but we may get that here.
The other thing you may get here.
After review, the runner was down inbounds at 1:23. That creates a 10-second runoff. Please reset the game clock to 1:13 and the clock to 30. Both clocks will start on my whistle.
All right, so they weren't measuring whether or not he had a first down. They were measuring if he was inbounds or not.
Yeah, they were trying. That's exactly what they were trying to figure out, whether the clock was going to run or whether he got out of bounds. One thing the Raiders have to be aware of, you have a quarterback like Trey Lance.
Las Vegas has chosen to call timeout at 1:23.3. That is their 3rd and final timeout of the half. It'll be 30 seconds from now.
And again, this is a rule that changed a couple of years ago. Real quickly, Rich.
That was their first timeout, yes.
Not to interrupt Alex Kemp there.
You have to be aware of Trey Lance running with the football in this situation, whether by design or off the scramble.
Please reset the play clock to 25 seconds. Thank you.
All right, so a lot to clean up there. Because the referees ruled him out of bounds and the play had it been correct on the field, the clock would have continued. That's the 10-second runoff, which the Raiders elected to not let happen because Antonio Pierce wants his team to get a 2-minute drill. But to your point, he wants to stop. 3rd down and 1 for Trey Lance, and he brings Freeman back next to him. He kept it, and Tyree Wilson saw it, but Lance got away, and he picks up the first down and gets out of bounds.
That's unfortunate because the Raiders were ready for it. They had the edge set. You look at Tyree Wilson, he's in position. You just got to keep coming. He just underestimated the speed of Trey Lance. Yeah, he's right there. You just got to be able to make that play. That suddenness too much for Tyree Wilson.
So first and goal for the Cowboys as they are going right into the black hole. Freeman stopped at the line and turns forward. Down at the 1, and Antonio Pierce is on the field. He wants a timeout, and he gets it.
Timeout. Las Vegas, their second. We have 30-second timeout.
And again, this is what we were talking about. He knows he wants to save time. He wants to see Aiden O'Connell. They talk about situational football. He wants to give his quarterback trying to win a job a chance to go down and score before halftime.
Absolutely. It's a good usage of timeouts. There's a lot of conversation about what happened last week, and they're still working through the mechanics. You know, AP's got somebody upstairs in the coaching booth, and we're talking through some of these situations. But, you know, when you make something a point of emphasis, really enjoyed our conversation with defensive coordinator Patrick Graham on Friday. He talked about situationally we have to be better. And one of those areas is red zone. There were 26 the season ago. You cannot let people run the ball on you on this part of the field. Force him to throw it.
Again, Trey Lance's legs, such a factor. He is going to throw. The open receiver. Touchdown, Dallas. The rookie Flournoy got behind Jack Jones, and the Cowboys go in front 9-6.
Got him on a double move. Just watch, he's going to start him inside. And then Jack Jones takes the bait. See a little stutter inside, and Jack Jones has got his eyes in the wrong place. Good throw by Trey Lance, but a really nice job by the receiver setting it up.
Rich, that's the capper to a 14-play, 76-yard drive. Extra point is good. Well, the Raiders talked about wanting to get better this week at stopping the run. Cowboys have 92 yards on the ground. Trey Lance converted a bunch of third downs on that drive. But on the positive, for 107, you do get a chance for Aiden O'Connell to go down. And again, this is what your scouting is on the second-year pro out of Purdue.
Well, he's got the prototypical size. We've seen his accuracy, not just this preseason, but certainly last year. I think it's getting better once the game begins to slow down. The anticipation's good. And he's got the arm talent and poise that you need to play at this level. The thing that he doesn't do as well when you compare him to Gardner Minshew is the unscripted offense, the ability to create and extend and kind of manufacture plays on his own when things break down. That's not what he's known for. But where I think he's better is his ability to push the ball down the field, to use all of the field with his arm talent.
We'll see where they'll start this drive. Abdullah and the rookie Lauby are back deep to receive. It's left short, and Abdullah's at the 3. A flag flew right at the line, so this might come back.
Somebody moved early.
Yep. And again, remember, the receiving team, with the exception of the 2 guys who are back deep, nor the kicking team except the kicker, nobody can move until the ball is touched or it hits the ground. And Mike McCarthy's got the option to re-kick or to take the 5 yards on the back end.
Illegal formation, receiving team number 4. That penalty is declined. First down, Las Vegas.
All right, so there you go. They'll decline that. They don't want to re-kick. Rich, your breakdown of number 12.
Let's take a look at what Aiden O'Connell did last week against the Vikings. Play action, really effective. I love the fact that he looks out in front of this throw and makes sure that the backside corner is not in the way. This is a good throw to Jacoby Myers, giving him a chance. And of course, he had a couple of other really good throws in that game as well.
He only had the one drive, a 15-play drive to open that game. He's throwing. He's got Wilkerson on the sideline, and he's out of bounds. So a nice touch throw to Christian Wilkerson, who makes his 3rd catch of the half. And he got out of bounds with nothing coming off the clock.
Always like to start the 2-minute drive with the completion. Love how they use the boundary as well.
Got 10 yards, so enough for a first down. And again, if you're comparing time on the field, O'Connell last week 1 drive, Minshew 4. Minshew had 5 drives here in the first half. O'Connell's had just 1. But they're comparing so many other things, not just tonight, trying to announce who the starter's going to be. Clean pocket. O'Connell downfield. Through the hands of Wilkerson at the Cowboys 44.
Got to make that catch. It's a pretty good throw. A little pivot route. A little bit high, but you got to make that catch. Just watch the receiver, Wilkerson up the top. Watch him put his foot in the ground and start coming back to it. Nah, a little bit high, but he's still got to bring that one down. Make a good catch. Not always going to be perfect.
Cowboys bring a blitz on 2nd down. O'Connell takes a deep shot for Tucker. That's a little too far in front of the 2nd-year pro. Nice coverage again by Andrew Booth, 3rd-year man out of Clemson, trying to make this roster after being traded by the Vikings last week to Dallas, and it'll be 3rd down and 10.
That was good coverage.
Well, it's not apples to apples, Rich, because of who's been on the field for how much time and who they're playing with. But I think last week, because they played so well, you wanted that to continue tonight, and that hasn't happened just yet. O'Connell trying to get it out to Lauby, and he had a man right in his face with pressure. And so the Raiders now just 2 of 9 on 3rd down. Al-Quadin Muhammad had the pressure, and it'll be 4th and 10.
Yeah, they got to be a little firmer at the left tackle position. That's what got him. Mumford gets walked back into the quarterback. Doesn't really give Aiden O'Connell a chance to set his feet.
Yard punt on the bounce. Nice tackle from behind to stand him up. And the special teams unit has been good tonight. Sam Webb was down there in coverage with the initial hit. We'll see what the Cowboys will like to do with 28 seconds. You know, Antonio Pierce told us yesterday, Rich. Let's take a look at the tackle there from Sam Webb. Antonio Pierce told us yesterday that, you know, as fans are watching and how they're trying to see how do they want to determine who the starting quarterback is, he wants whoever that is to get this team out to a fast start in games and then during the season as well.
Yeah, there's so much time spent during the seasons, particularly during game week, you know, looking at the first 15, 20 plays, getting off to a good start. He's already looking at the schedule the first month of the season, trying to figure out which of these two quarterbacks give the Raiders the best chance against those defenses, against those defensive coordinators, against those systems with the personnel that we have. This offense is going to look a lot different. You get both those tight ends on the field.
Nance dumps it short to the tight end, John Stevens, who gets out of bounds.
I'm so excited to see what Brock Bowers can do this year alongside Michael Mayer. That's going to be a personnel group that you see on the field a lot. You're going to see a lot of 2 tight ends, 3 tight end sets. You're going to see Brock Bowers moved all around. I think that's going to be a real benefit to whichever of these 2 quarterbacks lines up week 1 under center versus the Chargers.
Back end of the Raiders starters, the secondary and the linebackers still on the field here late in the 2nd quarter. They're coming with 4. Nance has Stevens again short. Raiders will give him that, and he steps out of bounds. He's got the first. Another 5 seconds came off the clock. He's out to the 29-yard line.
I'm excited to see what this defense can look like in 2024. I think Christian Wilkinson inside is going to be a huge boost to this unit. You know, you look at what he brings. I mean, energy, the work ethic, the toughness. So good at the point of attack. He's big, he's strong. You pair him with Max Crosby and the rest of that group, and I just think this is a defense that has a chance to really build on what they did in the second half of the season. They played some good defense down the stretch for Patrick Graham.
Nobody better the last 9 weeks of the year. Raiders defense #1 in the NFL in points allowed per game. Nance gets outside of the pocket, and he will go out of bounds after a 3-yard gain, but 7 seconds came off the clock, so down to just 10 seconds here in the half.
You mentioned that they only allowed 16 points per game over the last 9. And it was just the style with which they played. They were more physical. They played the run better. They cut down on the mistakes. The penalties were down. The takeaways, the sacks were all up. That's something to build on as you begin this season.
Lance gets out of the pocket, again takes off. He's up to midfield, and he slides down with 2 seconds. And a timeout taken. Now the clock's read 0, but the officials say they called the timeout before the time expired.
They're going to try. They're going to try and kick a field goal here. They are.
Timeout. Dallas. That's their 3rd and final timeout of the half. Please reset the game clock to 3 seconds. 3 seconds.
Now they spot Trey Lance down at the 49 of the Raiders.
Be about a 66. A big gap up the middle here. A quarterback like Trey Lance, you've got to be really disciplined with your rush lanes.
Rich, he had 44 yards rushing last week. He's got 30 yards rushing today. Look at the time. And again, this also matters when Mike McCarthy called the timeout, not when Trey Lance slid, which you can't see there. But they are going to try this. Brandon Aubrey hit from 60 last year. This is officially a 66-yard field goal. He drills it, doesn't have enough. Oh, man, 66 for Aubrey.
This is the end of the first half.
Holy cow. Now the Raiders will go back into the locker room and talk about this first half. Some of the plays towards the second half that Trey Lance was able to make. As Antonio Pierce now joining us here. Coach, obviously the questions that you know, how do you assess Gardner and Aiden in the first half?
A lot of opportunities left on the field.
Is it just footwork, coach, decision making, anticipation, accuracy? When you, especially with Gardner, I thought there were some opportunities to make some plays they just missed.
Yeah, I think we left a lot of plays out there, especially in that first, second, third series. Man, we left out there 3 trips in the red zone, 0 for 3, not good enough.
Let's talk about the defense. What did you see from that unit in the first half?
Still not good enough in the run game. We're giving up guys right in the A gap, getting right creased in the middle of the defense. That's not how we play defense. Sloppy eyes, bad eye, just put down in the red zone. Give up easy touchdown.
Coach, thank you for the time.
Okay, thank you.
Antonio Pierce will trot into the locker room to give up 114 yards on the ground. And again, Trey Lance with enough late there to get a 66-yard field goal. Raiders trailing the Cowboys 13-6. Halftime here in Las Vegas. Las Vegas Raiders football is brought to you by Company, Golden, Colorado.
Now, if you're from Oakland, if you're from Los Angeles, or if you're from Las Vegas, Nevada.
Looking like I'm going to a Raider game. No, I'm not the only one. Doing it like this since we was hella young.
There's no better day than a day like today, when all we have in common becomes the Raider way. The pride from our culture and the poise is in our DNA. From Oakland to LA, now Las Vegas is on display. Our passion ain't no mystery. We've been representing since 1960.
Las Vegas, let me hear you holler. Oakland, California, all the way through Nevada. Yeah, it's a blackout. Knock the lights out. I'm in the stands, pull the mic out.
We're not just one city, we're one nation. It's a silver and black thing. You know what's up. When you see the shield, it's time to pull up.
Las Vegas Raiders.
The Raiders went to the Coliseum. We used to go to almost every game, and we would go in our motorhome.
Whenever the Raiders would play any other team, completely different energy. I mean, you could tell the passion.
I got into Raider Nation from him, and I loved it.
I was a kid, probably 13 years old, watching the Raiders play in the Super Bowl. I just loved everything about the Raiders. From then on out, I've been a Raider fan.
Being at games, that's one of my favorite things. If I'm not there, I'm watching it in my Raider room, my man cave, I call it. 70s and 80s were dominated by the Raiders. There was no better team than the Oakland Raiders.
I just love like the history and everything that the silver and black represent. I just love it. I love the players. I just love everything that this organization stands for.
Love for the Raiders comes from my family. Like many people here, it's a community, and I want to just be part of my family and community.
The vibe and the energy is just so alive, and the fans are just true fans, like, you know, and they're from all over.
Once they moved to Vegas, I went, 3.5 hours? I'm there. I'm a season ticket holder. That's what I'm going to do, you know? Win, lose, retire, Raider till I die.
Reproductions is prohibited.
Great halftime performance always here inside Allegiant Stadium. Jabberwockies put on a show up by the torch. Raiders trailing the Cowboys 13-6 as we get ready for the start of the second half. Jason Horowitz, 2002 NFL MVP Rich Gannon. Happy to have you back with us here inside Allegiant Stadium. Rich, there were some good moments of the first half, but as Antonio Pierce told us walking off, didn't feel good about the defense, and a lot of things left out there for the quarterbacks as well.
Yeah, he keeps, really talking about the run defense. He wants more out of that unit. And I think offensively, the big story to me anyway in the first half were the missed opportunities, especially in the passing game, especially when Gardner Minshew was out there. There were some opportunities. I was looking at the All-22. I was looking at some of the replays. I don't even have to watch the film to know that there's some missed opportunities, and I think that's the thing that really bothers the coaching staff. When you go out there, we're looking for clean performances and the importance of getting off to a good start. We talked about this first 4 games. The first 2 games are on the road. You got to be able to make them when they're there.
We'll get to that in the second. Halftime stats brought to you by Yamava. Experience world-class gaming at Yamava Resort and Casino at San Manuel. Must be 21 or over to enter. Gamble responsibly. 1-800-GAMBLER. 114 rush yards by the Cowboys in the first half. Trey Lance, a big part of that down towards the stretch. And, you mentioned the schedule, Rich. The last couple of years, 2 years ago, Raiders started 0-3. Last year, Raiders won the opener in Denver, but 1-3 after that. And the first 4 games this year, the opener against the Chargers and Jim Harbaugh, then on the road against John Harbaugh, so back-to-back road games, and then a couple of home games against Carolina and Cleveland, so they need to start fast to play well.
And you talk about those first 2 games on the road against the Chargers and the Ravens. They have pass rushers and cover corners. You have to execute. And I just felt like in the first half anyway, there was just too many missed assignments, too many missed throws, and you kind of have to have a clean performance when you go on the road, especially in the division week 1.
We'll be back here next Friday night against the Niners. It's always the last preseason game of the year. You don't always expect to see starting units, but who knows? Kyle Shanahan this week, Rich, he canceled. They were supposed to have joint practices, but they canceled them because of all the injuries they're experiencing in San Francisco. So we'll see what they do this coming week as well. But here for the Raiders, they're not worried about anything else. They would like to have a clean second half and play better than the first half.
Absolutely. And, the biggest thing is you want to come out of the preseason healthy, but you also want to come out of the preseason confident, feeling good about the offense and defense and the kicking game.
Tyron Billy Johnson coming out from 2 yards deep in the end zone. Flag flies, and he doesn't get to the 20.
Good coverage.
Charles Snowden with a nice tackle. Jaden Grant on the top of the pile, too. Now, the return unit, the coverage unit, has been very good here in this ball game.
During the return, holding receiving team number 48. At the distance of the goal line, first down.
That is Princeton Fant, tight end out of Tennessee. Now, Trey Lance in the first half was pretty good for Dallas. He had 34 yards on the ground. He was 8 of 11 and a touchdown pass as well. Ja'Cory Bennett still on the field. Lone expected Raiders defensive starter still in there. Thrown behind the receiver, and it's batted up and down. Knocked out of the air to Camryon Richardson, the rookie out of Mississippi State. And, Rich, this is a big part of the second half. The young corners who are going to be the depth of this defense.
Yeah, I'm anxious to see Richardson here in the second half. Devonshire, they've invested in a couple corners in this draft, and Richardson's got a chance to be a good one. He's fast, he's long, he's physical, he's ultra competitive, and he plays with some confidence. Watched a lot of his film in Mississippi State.
He's got blazing speed. He was a good returner, too. Lance over the middle. It's caught. Bennett couldn't rip it out of there. Kelvin Harmon, been kicking around the league for a long time. Had 30 grabs with Washington back in 2018. And it's enough for a first down.
Well, Bennett in position. Just got to get that right arm in there a little bit quicker.
Lance back to the air. Nobody home. Jaden Grant the closest to the ball. It'll be second down.
Good opportunity to look at some of these young players in the secondary. I think the Cowboys are going to try and throw the ball a little bit here in the second half as they continue to evaluate their quarterback position with Trey Lance.
Now remember, he was the #3 overall pick in 2021. The Niners gave up a ton of draft stock to get him. Last year they traded him to Dallas in the preseason for a 4th-round pick. Back to the ground. Malik Davis met in the hole. It'll be 3rd and long. Nice tackle by the second-year safety, Chris Smith.
Those 49ers found a quarterback a little later in the draft from Iowa State that they kind of like, and Brock Purdy. He's looked pretty good here the last couple years.
It costs a little bit less than a 1st-round pick, too. 3rd and 6. Cowboys only converted 1 of 5 in the first half. Lance the shovel play, and they read it perfectly. Ellerson Smith came off the edge, and he had his big arms outstretched to take that down.
A great penetration by Smith. Just gonna see him. He comes right up the field and takes the tight end and walks him right back into the back. Really nice job by Ellerson Smith.
Now, one of a couple different Northern Iowa players on this defense trying to make the team. Ellerson Smith, corner Woo Governor, both some of the back-end players here on the Raiders defense.
He's got room.
He does have room. Trey Tucker had a nice return earlier. This is DJ Turner, gets through the middle, and he fights for some hard yardage out to the 43-yard line. 48-yard punt. Aiden O'Connell set up with good field position for his first drive of the second half.
God almighty, that was that other that you put in there. Oh, thank God.
Punch out, punch out, punch out!
Well, you're talking pretty tough during a field goal block team. Right hash, here we go, baby. Hold me back. Hold me back. Oh, no, that's Jacoby. No, thanks. I got it. I've seen him. Let's go make one. Show him who'd got all the range. Let's go. We need it. We need it.
Rob Ryan, one of the funnier guys on this staff. Mic'd Up featuring Rob Ryan. Brought to you by Coca-Cola Zero Sugar, the official soft drink of the Las Vegas Raiders. Senior defensive assistant up in the booth. He has been around a long time. Was the Raiders defensive coordinator from 04 to 08.
I've known Buddy and Rob and Rex for a long time. And the one thing that they all have in common is they don't like quarterbacks. And they like to get after them. And Rob's no different. An excellent coach.
Helping out Patrick Graham and that staff. So Aiden O'Connell got the last 2 drives of the opening half. Was 4 of 8. They go to the ground with Zamir White. And got away from one. Could not get away from Damian Wilson after a 2-yard pickup.
Well, you see the tight end come across, and Bryant's got to make that play. He runs right past the first defender and makes it really difficult on Zamir White.
There were some of the starters on the offensive line. Thayer Mumford, who started at right tackle, still in this game. He's playing left tackle. He and DJ Glaze, that right tackle spot who's going to start 2024's openers up for grabs still, and Glaze is the right tackle too. Cowboys showing blitz. Here they come. O'Connell got rid of it to Turner. And he picks up positive yard, about 5 out to midfield. And also bring up 3rd down and about 3 here for the Raiders.
Nice job by the back. He's going to take one of the free blitzers, and the other one is loose. And Aiden O'Connell knows he's one short. That's why he gets the ball out quickly on the perimeter to DJ Turner.
Nice pocket. He pumps. He got it. It's right at the marker, and he carries the defender. That's a 1st down. Harrison Bryant has enough to move the chains on a tight throw from Aiden O'Connell.
He just runs a little pivot route and Aiden O'Connell puts it right on him.
Officials timeout for a virtual measurement.
He's going to work in, and then he works right back across, but he does a good job getting depth. He gets to the first down marker.
Well, from that angle, it looks like a no-doubter, but we are going to get our first look at this Hawkeye technology. Explained it to you in the first half. New this year, it's not about where the ball is spotted. It's only a virtual measurement for whether or not it is a first down. They are using it in some of the stadiums around the NFL here in the preseason to test it out.
I miss Gene Steratore with the card. Remember Gene Steratore came out with the card to measure whether or not the ball had crossed the line of game by putting it up against the sticks.
All right, so here it is. Yeah, that's a no-doubter. Now, again, this is the technology. It's just like tennis, right? When a tennis player challenges the chair umpire and you see it and the entire crowd goes, ooh. Kind of the same thing.
Well, you know, you would think nowadays we could, we send people to the moon, we could get the technology right, and we could figure out whether or not the receiver or ball carrier got the first down.
First set of downs for O'Connell. They've been throwing a lot tonight. All kinds of time. Turner leaks out of the backfield. Makes one man miss. DJ Turner still going, and he's got a first down. You know, Rich, I know all the focus is about the quarterbacks and who's going to be the starter. DJ Turner has been a guy who looks like he is going to be a part of this roster and not just on special teams.
Yeah, just watch the eyes of the quarterback. Watch him start down there. Now he works to his left. Now he's back inside. Now he's all the way back across the field. He finds DJ Turner. And Jason, I agree. This kid is an explosive, dynamic receiver. He's a guy you just want to get him the ball in space. But it was a really good job there by Aiden O'Connell, not panicking under duress.
White trying to find the right side, and he gets about 3 yards. You know, when we talked to Jacoby Myers yesterday, you know, everyone talks about the dynamic playmakers on this team and the rookie Brock Bowers. He said it's the guys you don't talk about that make this offense unique, and DJ Turner is someone he brought up.
Yeah, you know, I think the work ethic, right? It's really jumped out to the receivers, the guys in that room. The other thing that Jacoby Myers said that really made some sense to me, he said, our goal as an offense is to make whichever quarterback plays comfortable. And there's something to be said for that. Everybody's got to do their part.
Another run, this time to Alexander Madison, who hit the hole hard. A nice run. They get set up 3rd down and 2. We have seen a lot through the air between Minshew and O'Connell. They have thrown the ball 32 times tonight, Rich. That is just the 8th rushing attempt by a Raiders running back. And they're up on the ball fast. And a quick throw. And it's well over the head of Christian Wilkerson.
They're going to go for it here. They jumped the ball and they fooled themselves there. Look at offensive coordinator Luke Getz. He's been getting the plays in quickly. They've gone for it a couple times here now down in the red zone on 4th down.
They're 0 of 2 tonight on 4th down.
You got one-on-one coverage right down the bottom here.
And he's got DJ Turner and converts. Tough catch in traffic and a first down.
Nice little route by DJ Turner. He starts him outside. Watch this release. He's going to start him outside, and then he works right back across the face, and Aiden O'Connell puts it right on him. Nice route on 4th down. DJ Turner helping himself tonight.
No question. DJ Turner, an undrafted free agent in 2021 out of Pittsburgh. He's 27 years old. He's been with the Raiders his entire career, up and down practice squad. He's been part of IR. He's been a big special teams player. Nice cut back for Madison to take it inside the 15. That's where they will blow it dead. But a 4-yard run for Alexander Madison. And, you know, it's been a wait for DJ Turner. He's been trying to be a part of this, but he's got speed. He certainly has flash. And when Michael Gallup retired, Rich, had opened up that 4th and 5th wide receiver spot for guys to be part of this roster.
Yeah, I just think that, you know, a lot of these guys have a chance to be a whole lot better in year 2. But the other challenge is you're learning a new system, right? The one guy that really knows it is Devontae Adams from his time in Green Bay with Luke Getsy. Everybody else, it's a lot of new learning going on, and that can slow the process down as well.
Hand off to Dylan Laube, trying to follow John Samuel Shanker into the hole, and he gets about 1, maybe 2. So it'll bring up 3rd down again here for Aiden O'Connell.
Again, 4-down territory, and if you're Antonio Pierce, you turn to your offensive coordinator Luke Getsy and say, hey, you got 2 downs here to get it. Then Luke in turn tells the quarterback, hey, Aiden, you've got 2 downs here, let's be smart.
Laube stays in the backfield, the rookie out of New Hampshire.
Got to get something here.
On 3rd and 5.
Tight
throw, great crowd. It's Turner again with a 1st down.
That was good coverage by DeBerry as well. That's just a really good throw, low and away to DJ Turner. Watch where this ball winds up.
They go fast. Laube with the stutter, and he did great to just get 3 yards. Nearly hitting the backfield. How about the hands, though, too? You mentioned the placement, Rich, but the hands by DJ Turner.
Yeah, but watch where he throws this. I mean, it's the only place you can complete the ball. I mean, it's pretty good coverage. And that's the difference between the good ones and the great ones. You can make those, you can throw the ball into tight windows accurately and on time.
O'Connell is 5 of 6 on the drive. 13th play of the drive. Throwing, hits, open tight end, touchdown Raiders. Harrison Bryant into the end zone, and they cap off a lengthy drive to pull within 1 here in the 3rd.
They go for 2.
Yeah, they're gonna go for 2.
There's Bryant. He's just going to come out to the flat. And he really had either of them, but just a good decision there to get it to your tight end for the easy 6. I like what I'm seeing from Aiden O'Connell. I think you see the confidence, you see the poise, you see him taking control of these situations, you see the communication.
Well, he converted a 4th down. He converted a pair of 3rd downs. And they're trying to put a 2-point conversion on the board, too. That's Turner in motion. Backpedaling, lobbing, and nobody home.
Sorry, you got to give him a chance.
So they don't cap it off with a 2-point conversion, but they score and a touchdown from O'Connell.
Yeah, really nice job by the tight end. He's going to bluff. He gets out to the flat, and Aiden O'Connell makes a good, accurate throw for the touchdown.
5-yard touchdown pass. Aiden O'Connell to Harrison Bryant capped off a 13-play, 57-yard drive, and they took 7 minutes off the clock. But the composure, Rich, the conversions on 3rd and 4th down, and you like the accuracy of Aiden O'Connell on that drive, too.
And remember, this is a guy that came in last year, supposed to have a redshirt year. It was supposed to be Jimmy Garoppolo and Brian Hoyer. What happens, he winds up playing in 10 games. He wins half of them. He played well. He played really good down the stretch. 8 touchdowns and no interceptions in his last 4 starts. I believe the kid has a chance to be a good player, but I think he needs the opportunity to build on what we saw from him late in the season.
Deuce Vaughn coming out, and again, the special teams unit has it inside the 20. Now, again, regular season, that will probably be down in the end zone to come out to the 30, but not there. Quarterback Gardner Minshew started. He got the first 5 drives.
Yeah, and they all bring something different to the party, right? We know about Gardner. I think he's a dynamic guy that likes to get outside the pocket, create, and he's a little bit of a guy that is off script sometimes. I think he's at his best when he's just freewheeling it. Meanwhile, you look at Aiden O'Connell, he's going to beat you up from the pocket. He's got good arm talent. He can throw the ball at all 3 levels, and I think he's a good decision maker.
Harmon on the quick throw out to the side. Richardson on the tackle with Amari Gaynor, the rookie linebacker out of North Carolina.
They're just paying off at Aiden O'Connell in terms of the decision making. He played in 10 games last year. He only threw 7 picks. You know, I think for a rookie, That's pretty good. And keep in mind, he had a couple of different play callers. They fired the coach on him in the middle of the season. It's not easy.
Who's falling again? Stutters in the backfield. Nice tackle. Amari Gaynor made a bunch of nice plays in the second half last week and was there to stop him. There are a couple flags down right by the line.
Holding. Offense number 47. It's a 10-yard penalty. Still second down.
That is the rookie tight end out of Minnesota, Brevin Spann-Ford. And again, Rich, you talked about this last week in Minnesota when we came on the air about, Aiden O'Connell, a rookie last year and a 4th-round pick, but rookies to their second year generally make a big jump. And so if you got what you got the last 4 or 5 starts last year, what is the possibility this year?
Yeah, that's where we typically see a lot of improvement. Now, keep in mind, you got a new coordinator, a new system, new terminology, new verbiage. There's a lot of new learning going on for the second-year player. You're not able to come back into the building the first day of the spring and build on what you did last year. What you're doing is you're being handed a new playbook. It's kind of like learning German your first year of high school. And then your sophomore year, we take the German book back and we give you a Spanish book and say, hey, good luck with that. It's hard. You're constantly having to learn, and that slows down the process, especially for a young quarterback. I know you're bilingual, so that wouldn't be a big deal for you, but for a lot of people like myself, Jason, that's a problem.
Yeah, but I'm not quadlingual. Broken up. Solid coverage by Chris Smith. And the Cowboys will have to punt it away.
Yeah, good sequence there. Nice little 3-and-out.
And again, we've seen this tonight. One of the things Antonio Pierce said, they really like this safety group, and Isaiah Polamalu, Chris Smith, a big part of that.
Yeah, I think they've got good depth, good talent there. And Trey Taylor's going to be a good one as well.
Connell strapping on the helmet one more time, so maybe we see him for one more drive. Anger to punt it away. We've seen good returns tonight. This time it is Amir Abdullah with a lot of space. And he brings it out to the 35-yard line, which is where the Raiders will take over. Put together a 7-minute drive to start the second half. Connell, will he be the guy for Antonio Pierce? Airline of the Las Vegas Raiders. Low fares, non-stop flights. Book now only at Allegiant.com. Now Brock Bowers, after getting drafted 13th overall, getting his stadium tour. And be sure to join us for an Allegiant Stadium tour. Get a behind-the-scenes look at ultra-exclusive areas you can't see on game day. The locker rooms, the broadcast booth, other VIP spots. Don't miss the unique opportunity to experience the home of the Raiders like never before. For tickets and more info, visit AllegiantStadium.com/tour. Brock Bowers not playing tonight. Devontae Adams also not playing tonight. The rest of the Raiders' offensive starters have played, and they have played a lot. And all of the Raiders' defensive expected starters got at least 2 series in this ballgame. O'Connell's going back to the air. He leaves it short. Abdullah, nice grab, got out of the tackle, and the veteran is up by midfield.
Sometimes as a quarterback, you just want to give him an opportunity. You put it in the hands of a player like Abdullah, he's probably going to make the first defender miss. It doesn't look like it's a big play, but it's a missed tackle. Just show great balance there by Abdullah.
And he is such a different player, Rich, in his 9th year out of Nebraska. Originally a 2nd-round pick of the Lions back in 2015. They thought he'd be a guy to carry the football a lot. That never really panned out, but he has turned into a great 3rd down back and special teams contributor. 1st and 10. They pitch it to Abdullah, and he didn't have any time or space. Solid play. Julius Wood, the rookie out of East Carolina, an undrafted free agent.
Yeah, the receiver can't make that block, and that's one he should have probably gotten out of. When you evaluate the quarterback position, you say, well, he's playing against a bunch of backups for Dallas. Yeah, but he's playing with a lot of young guys as well on the offensive side of the ball. You can evaluate a lot. at that position. Decision-making, footwork, timing, anticipation.
You've got Ramel Keaton in at wide receiver. He's at the bottom of your screen. He pumped it that way. He throws it that way. And he's going to draw a pass interference on the Cowboys.
A little double move when they got him. DeBerry, he grabs.
Pass interference. Defense number 38. The ball is placed at the spot of the foul. Automatic first down.
They're trying to run a little double move right down here. A little out and up, and the defensive back just grabs Keaton.
Rich, a couple of years ago at Tennessee, it was with Hendon Hooker. And Tennessee's offense really started going. Ramel Keaton was a starter. And then last year as well, after Hendon Hooker, with Joe Milton, who's now with the Patriots, Keaton averaged over 18 yards a catch, which was third best in the SEC. So he is a guy that can fly and do things with the ball in his hands.
Look at this cushion.
They go the other way to Jalen Guyton. He got one block. He runs into Ben Brown, his center. And all of that pinball gets 2 yards.
The Raiders have always had speed at wide receiver. I mean, going back to Cliff Branch, you know, all the players that I played with could get up and go. James Jett was a world-class sprinter. They've always had guys that can take the top off the defense, and that's something that Al Davis always believed in. Mark does as well. So does Tom Telesco.
Aiden O'Connell was 4 of 8 in the first half. He is 9 of 10 passing in the second. Abdullah takes it into the pile. He's just inside the 37. Well, there wasn't a lot of positive plays on the offensive side last week, Rich, in the third and fourth quarter. At least here in the third quarter, it has been a different story. They've been able to move the football, break some tackles, and get some lengthy drives.
And I think part of it is the quarterback's responsibility is just to manage the situation, manage the young guys, make sure you're communicating, make sure you're giving them extra tips. Nobody breaks the huddle if they're unsure of exactly what to do.
On 3rd and 5, he's got Guyton in the flat. He turns the corner, has the first down. The ball placement led him upfield, and Jalen Guyton picks up the first.
And some of these throws don't look all that difficult, but it's the location, it's getting the receiver to the transition, the run, it's the velocity. Getting the ball out quickly to the flat with some juice so that the receiver has the ability to turn upfield and get the first down. That's something that Aiden O'Connell really does well, throwing the ball those short and intermediate routes with good velocity.
Well, and he's in a groove too, Rich. He's 10 of 11 here in the second half.
He knows what's at stake. There's more than just a win in the preseason game on the line here. Got to move.
Out of the pocket,
somebody's got to get open.
Flag flies, and he dumps it into the bench.
Bad job by the receivers. When the quarterback gets outside the pocket, you got to come to life. Jalen Guyton could have done a better job on the boundary.
Offense number 66. It's a 10-yard penalty, first down.
We're going to come back anyway. Dylan Parham, who started this game at guard, still in there, is whistled for holding.
When you get a quarterback that gets outside the pocket, when he starts getting out here, watch. Everybody's got to start working back to the quarterback. Come on. Come down the boundary. Come down the stem. Make yourself available. There's got to be more of a sense of urgency from the receivers and tight end in that situation.
4 penalties tonight for 40 yards in Antonio Pierce's squad. John Samuel Schenker into the backfield as a fullback. Hand off to Laube. Got into the hole. And he picks up about 4 yards, which will take us to the end of the third quarter. Aiden O'Connell has the Raiders on the move. He has the ball for pretty much the entire third quarter. Can he cap off one more drive on the opener at home here in the 2024 preseason? Connection to the game is brought to you by Allegiant, the official airline of the Las Vegas Raiders. Well-fares, nonstop flights, book now only at Allegiant.com. It was Gardner Minshew to Trey Tucker. 48 yards. Another 3 grabs for 66 tonight for the second-year pro out of Cincinnati, who, Rich, he looks like he is going to be vastly improved in year number 2.
Yeah, we talk about the improvement from rookies to the second year, and I'm excited to see what he can do, not only at wide receiver, but as a returner as well.
2nd and 16 to start the 4th. Ooh. Bad throw, intercepted by the Cowboys. Racing back the other way, Keemon Hole, and it's a Dallas pick 6. Now the emphasis on taking care of the football. And you see Aiden Connell telling his teammates, my fault.
Yeah, just watch him here. He's going to start to his right. Look at his eyes. He's starting here. Now what he doesn't see is this relationship. And look at the defender. I mean, he's late with his eyes. He never feels the defender just watching him the entire way. I mean, that's just too easy of a play for Hall. That's what happens when you start to your right and you're late coming back to your left.
A 69-yard interception return.
And he knew it. He knew it right away.
Now we'll see how the Raiders respond after the pick 6 by the Cowboys. It is definitely fun to be back in the stadium. No one knows celebration like Las Vegas. No matter what your passion is, you're sure to find it here. And when you're in the sports and entertainment capital of the world, every fan can go all out. Jason Horowitz, Rich Gannon, happy to have you back with us here inside Allegiant Stadium. Gardner Minshew started the night. In Aiden O'Connell's night, we don't know if it is over yet. And if it is, it would be after a bad taste in his mouth with a 69-yard pick 6. Aubrey's kick coming down to Tulu Griffin. First chance to see him in a Raiders uniform, and he's got some speed. And a good return out past the 40 with flags flying into Cowboys territory. The rookie out of Mississippi State with a nice return, but it looks like it's coming back.
There's a hold in there somewhere.
During the return, holding, receiving team number 47. It's a 10-yard penalty, first down.
Now, Rich, he was an All-American, Tulu Griffin, as a returner 2 seasons ago. Well, Aiden O'Connell's night is done. And so he did some great things in the 3rd quarter, but he started the 4th with a pick 6.
Well, you hate to end the night that way. Yeah, he was rolling. He was throwing the ball well, and
correction,
got a little careless.
The foul was on number 28. 28, Las Vegas.
So we get to see Carter Bradley, the rookie out of South Alabama. And as we told you last week, his dad, Gus Bradley, former defensive coordinator with the Raiders, now with the Colts. It's a stretch run play. Nice turn by McCormick and another flag. Sincere McCormick out towards the 28-yard line, but it looks like it's coming back again.
I think they're going to hold.
Holding. Offense number 82. 10-yard penalty, still first down.
That's the wide receiver, Ramel Keaton.
He's got his hands outside. Watch Keaton right here. It's okay here, but right there, once you get that hand, that left hand outside the number, the jersey, and you start grabbing, you just can't do it. Especially when the run action's coming your way. Well, you got 1st and 20 with a rookie quarterback.
And I think the penalties, too, Rick, something that Antonio Pierce will talk about tonight. Wasn't a problem last week in Minnesota, but it's killed a couple of drives here tonight. First throw for Bradley. They didn't throw last week, and it's caught. Terrell Bynum out across the 20. So they pick up some of that yard. out to the 21. It'll be 2nd down and 9.
When you think about the opportunity a lot of these players are getting, you do the same work that everybody else does. You come in early, you stay late, you're in the weight room, you're in the training room, you're in the meeting room, you're studying the playbook, you're out on the practice field, all the OTAs and mini camps, and sometimes you don't get a chance to play till the very end of the game. You have to be ready, and you have to make the most of the opportunities you get.
Out in the flat, McCormick, a nice grab. And again, last week, Rich, we saw Anthony Brown Jr. get the 3rd reps behind O'Connell and Minshew. Raiders released him yesterday. They brought in Nathan Peterman earlier this week, a 7th-year vet who's been with Luke Getsy in Chicago, was with the Raiders for 4 seasons as well, mostly on the practice squad. And there's Gardner Bradley, and again, he's trying to be, we know there's the battle for the #1 job, but there's also that battle for who's going to be the 3rd quarterback.
Well, you know, and that's always the question. You know, how many do you keep on the roster with the practice squad? So there's a lot of things that you look at in terms of what that roster is going to look like.
Nice throw, Keaton. He was drilled and hung on to it. That was put in a tight window, and Ramel Keaton came down with it.
A nice throw by Bradley, and good job by Keaton holding on to it, catching the ball in traffic. Takes some courage to go across the middle of the field. You know you're going to get hit. I used to tell the receivers it doesn't hurt as much if you catch it.
Says the quarterback. Alley throwing again. Deep ball. Down the sideline. Oh, it's off the fingertips. Keaton got a little bit of space and could not pull it in. Now there is a flag back down where Bradley threw the football.
That's a good throw. Well, you got to make that catch. If it touches your...
Illegal use of the hands in the face, offense number 54. It's a 10-yard penalty, still 1st down.
Man, you got to bring that one in. Come on. If it touches your fingers, you got to make the catch. Good throw there by Carter Bradley. Give him a chance against man-to-man coverage.
No, it wouldn't have counted anyway. Illegal hands to the face, Jalen McKenzie. So back to a 1st down and 20 here for the Raiders. Bradley dumps it short, pick up a few yards. Again, McCormick out of the backfield. You think that mouth guard is bothering his vision out of the left eye?
I'd probably move it. I'd probably put it in my mouth. It's there for a purpose.
Now, you know, a lot of quarterbacks, they put it up there and then they take it out right before they snap the ball. He did not.
A lot of quarterbacks don't wear them. I never wore one. Hard to communicate with that mouthpiece in your mouth.
But it's hard to see with it in the vision of your left eye.
Does help, though. Helps save the teeth. It helps with concussions as well.
Thrown over the middle. It's a nice grab. Britton Brown went low, and he stayed on his feet to pick up a few extra yards. So it'll be 3rd down and about 5 here for the Raiders, who have held on to the football, Rich, with both Aiden O'Connell and now Carter Bradley for most of the 2nd half.
Nice job by the back. Watch him go down and get this real low. And tell you what, this would be a huge conversion on 3rd down. They started this drive. A couple penalties, had a 1st and 20.
Cowboys show blitz. Here they come. Bradley caught. Fotheringham. It's right at the line. And they spot it close to the sticks.
Well, good job sitting in there. He knew he was going to get hit.
Officials timeout for a virtual measure.
Right, and again, if you didn't see this one earlier,
I think he's got it.
I think so too. But again, if you, a virtual measurement with the Hawkeye technology, which is being introduced in some stadiums around the NFL here during the preseason, and it is just to determine whether or not the ball is a 1st down. It is not to determine the spot of the ball, just whether it is a 1st down. And they throw it out there, and it is a 1st down.
Man, I'm kind of digging that graphic there.
Yeah,
it's
it's
kind of
nice.
cool. I feel like I'm at Wimbledon.
Now, do you miss the chains?
I miss the guys that bring them out. You know, the old guys that, you know, enjoy the game. They're over there chewing sunflower seeds. Looking forward to having a Miller Lite after the game. Those are my guys. Nice job overcoming a penalty.
2 of them. Brown the carry out to midfield. Again, because of that penalty, that incompletion to Ramel Keaton doesn't count. So Carter Bradley is 6 of 6 for 43 yards here on this drive.
And he's been really patient. He's been willing to work the ball underneath. He's taken what he's been given. We see the arm talent there. He gets a shot to push the ball down the field a little bit. There you go. Little hand signal.
Good blitz pickup. Deep shot to McAllister.
Little push
incomplete. That was a great job picking up the blitz on the middle to even give Bradley a chance to throw that ball.
You know, when you really look under the hood and you study some of these young quarterbacks, you look at the preparation that goes into it. Watch Carter Bradley. You see him? He's going to change the route. He sees the pressure coming. He's trying to give the receiver a chance to make a play down the field. There's a quarterback that understands the front, understands the coverage and where the pressure's coming from. You can tell he's the son of a coach.
He's also converted a couple of 3rd downs. 1 on the play clock. He doesn't see it, and it's the way of game. He did not see it.
Offense. 5-yard penalty. 3rd down.
So a 3rd and 5. We'll go back to a 3rd and 10 for Carter Bradley.
Yeah, the penalty is just too much to overcome right now. You see Antonio Pierce. He ain't going to tolerate that. He's got a lot of young guys out there with him. He's trying to communicate, trying to make sure everybody knows what's going on. He loses track of that 25-second clock, and he knows it.
The 8th penalty on the Raiders tonight for 75 yards.
Too many. This is a double A. You see this a lot with. They don't always come from there. They'll bring one, drop the other.
Good job by the line to pick it up, and it was batted down at the line of scrimmage. Nice job by Huggins, Albert Huggins, and it'll be 4th down. I did see some nice things though from Carter Bradley, but the penalty's too much.
Yeah, just too much to overcome, and it wasn't just one person. Everybody's taking their part. Look at Rich Scangarello, the quarterback coach, talking to the young quarterback.
Kick coverage has been really good tonight, both from the kickoff unit and the punt team. He hung that high. A fair catch called for at the 10-yard line by the Cowboys. 44 on the punt, nothing on the return. E.J. Turner had a good night tonight. Raiders have 1 in the end zone, and it was Harrison Bryant.
Las Vegas Raiders football has been brought to you by Allegiant, the official airline of the Las Vegas Raiders. Low fares, non-stop flights. Book now only at Allegiant.com. Coors Light, choose chill, an official beer of Raider Nation. Celebrate responsibly. 2024 Coors Brewing Company, Golden, Colorado. Sports Water, the official water of the Las Vegas Raiders. Switch, watch, discover, join in. And by Las Vegas. There's no better place to celebrate than the sports and entertainment capital of the world. Right here in Las Vegas.
Now the silver and black practiced in front of an energized Allegiant Stadium earlier this week. You can come watch silver and black prepare for the season during their open practice again. Will take place August 20th. It is free and open to the public. Fans wishing to attend are encouraged to register for tickets at Raiders.com/open practice. Trey Lance gets it away. It's a 1st down completion out to Racey McMath. You know, we talked to Antonio Pierce about what it was like to have that practice in front of the fans, and he thought the energy was big for obviously the fans, but huge for his players to get back in this building.
I think the players like it, right? It breaks up the monotony of two-a-days. You get a chance to be out in front of the fans. I think they're trying hard to create a legitimate home field advantage here at Allegiant Stadium. I think you do that. Certainly winning goes a long way to addressing that issue, but I think there's a real effort to reach out to the community and give back to the fans. You know, have them come out here for free and watch a practice. And as Antonio Pierce told us, it's Vegas, man. We got to put on a show every time we step on the field.
You know, it's funny, you referenced that part of all that, Rich, and people have talked about how Luke Getsy, the running game, and Antonio Pierce wants to run the football, and you asked him about that yesterday. Antonio Pierce wants to score points.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, we want to win games, right? And however we have to do it. But I've been so impressed with his leadership, with his vision, with his ability to communicate that to the players, to the staff. This is going to be something special this year when you watch this team.
Now the runner is Snoop Connor. Jaden Grant came up, got away. Now they blow it dead and say Connor was down at the 36-yard line. It's coming back anyway. There's a hold in the backfield.
Holding. Offense number 65. That's a 10-yard penalty, and it's still second down.
You know, I think about what Detroit did with Dan Campbell and how successful that program is. And you look at Antonio Pierce. Here's a guy who was a great player. And he went on to have a broadcasting career, got it back into football as a coach. I think players respect his journey. I think players respect him when he says to them, hey, here's what has to happen. I think he's a straight shooter. I think he's not afraid to challenge the players. And I think the players have really responded to his leadership, and I think that's important.
Second and 17 after the penalty. Lance, another flag. Nice job by Gaynor to make the stop and break the pass. It's going to be another hold against the Cowboys anyway. See if Antonio Pierce declines the penalty.
Holding. Offense number 75. That penalty's been declined. Third down.
And yes, the answer is, and every level too, Rich. You talk about respect him as a coach because he's high school coach, college coach. And obviously now is the interim last year and now the head coach here with the Raiders.
And I think all good players want to be coached. You know, if you're Devontae Adams, you're Max Crosby. They want to be coached. They want the feedback. I think he does it in such a way to challenge them and to be honest and transparent about ways they can get better. And all the good players, trust me, they want to be coached hard.
They're down in 17. Vance dumps it short. Open field, got away, got a lot of yards, but not the first down. Nathaniel Pete, 5'8" running back out of Missouri. He's close. He picked up 14 or 15 yards.
Well, an opportunity to get off the field if you're the Raiders on fourth down. The wild card is this Trey Lance. You don't know if he's going to throw it or run it. He's a tough tackle in the open field. Give him a two-way go.
Fourth down for the Cowboys. Handoff. First down. And Rich, I do think that will be a point of emphasis this week again for the Raiders. Yes, again, the headlines are going to be about who he names as a starting quarterback. That's it. That's obvious. That's the given. That's been a storyline for months. But I think there's going to be a heavy focal point for this team about can they stop the run better once the season gets going.
Yeah, 21st in run defense last year. It wasn't good enough. They want to be a top 10, top 5 run defense. And it starts up front with that front seven.
That's a nice job by the defense. Connor got away from the first and cleaned up by M.J. Devonshire, the rookie out of Pittsburgh. That's a loss of 2. And again, a lot of that week 1, Rich, was against the first and second team unit. A lot of that was in the first half by the Vikings. And again, the same thing tonight. The Cowboys had nearly 120 yards rushing in the first half.
Yeah, and a couple explosives. And that's, you know, you got to keep the lid on the explosive runs. Runs of 10 yards or more.
He's passing. Lance got his height. He got it out to his tight end. And he spins forward for a first down. Alec Holward, rookie out of Central Florida.
Trey Lance is pretty good throwing the ball on the move. We saw it a number of times tonight, going to his right or to his left. This is easy for him. Changing the launch point with a mobile quarterback like Trey Lance. This is good work for this young defense of the Raiders.
And again, you talk to folks for the Cowboys, which who cover them all year. They say, look, Cooper Rush is going to be the backup. But it was very low risk for them to trade a 4th-round pick to try and bring the number 3rd overall pick into Dallas and see what you can get.
And remember now, they've got a quarterback in Dak Prescott that threw for over 4,500 yards. He's in the final season of a 4-year, $160 million contract extension. So they got to get him figured out as well.
Timeout taking Dallas.
And CeeDee Lamb.
Yeah, we'll take it with them. And Micah Parsons. Time for Rookie Spotlight, brought to you by Allegiant, the official airline of the Las Vegas Raiders. Low fares, nonstop flights. Book now only at Allegiant.com. Well, the 1st and 2nd round picks not playing tonight, but it's a big rookie class and a lot of thought that they may be a big part of this year's Raiders season. Young corners, MJ Devonshire, the Camryon Richardson, big part of that too. Undrafted free agent Amari Gainers played well the first couple of games. So big opportunities here for some of the, especially on the defensive side of the ball there, Rich.
Yeah, you got some young corners. You mentioned Richardson and Devonshire. Guys have a chance to be good players. You know, lengthy corners with long arms, wingspan, physical, guys that can run in transition, and guys that can be valuable contributors in the kicking game as well.
3rd round pick DJ Glaze got a ton of action tonight as well at right tackle. Lance with play action on 1st and 10. Wide open middle of the field. McMath gets away from one and down to the 17-yard line on a 30-yard connection.
Little too much cushion there from Devonshire up top. He's got his eyes in the backfield, and that's just way too much cushion.
Inside of 4.5 to go here in the 2nd preseason game of the year. One more to come next week against the Niners. Low throw, dropped, incomplete. And they'll whistle that dead. That is absolutely an incomplete pass. Bring up 2nd and 10.
Can't make the easy throws look difficult. Had a coach tell me that as a young player. He said, you got to hit them when they're open. The easy ones, got to make them.
Was your response then the same that it would be now? I'm trying.
I didn't say much, Jason, as a young player. I kept my mouth shut.
Connor with the cutback, and he flies forward to the 11. And Rich, I know you weren't drafted 3rd overall, but you did come out of the FCS just like Trey Lance. How much of it, and again, he's 3 years now into the NFL, but how much of a massive adjustment is that?
I think it's a big adjustment. I think, you know, obviously when you're in that you know, smaller program, you're not playing against the SEC, you're not playing against the Big Ten, you're not playing against bigger, stronger, faster, more talented players. And I also think you're not playing against the great defensive coordinators, you know, and so I think there's a transition. There's no question about it. You have to learn fronts and coverages and protections and concepts on both sides of the ball.
Trey Lance on 3rd down. And that was snatched out of the air in a tight throw. Again, it's Racey McMath, speaking of SEC, in his 3rd year out of LSU.
You know, we're talking a little bit during the break about the philosophy of developing that quarterback position as we look at Trey Lance. He's looked pretty good here in the 2nd half. But Mike McCarthy, the head coach of the Cowboys, was in Green Bay as the head coach when they had Brett Favre, and they drafted a young Aaron Rodgers. You look at them drafting, you know, when Aaron Rodgers was there, you know, drafted another quarterback, Jordan Love. And I think when you look at the Cowboys, they have a quarterback in Dak Prescott, but you're always looking towards the future.
Snoop Connor trying to run it in. The Raiders stand him up right near the line.
I think that's something that the Raiders have to continue to do. You always have to be looking at that position, not just who the starter is, but where are we at down the road? And are we doing a good enough job internally developing the position, not just the starters, but the second guy, the third guy? That's something that, in talking to the Raider coaching staff, talking to Tom Telesco, it is a point of emphasis, trying to address this quarterback position for the long haul.
Empty set here too, so somebody got to watch. Trey Lance with his legs.
There it is. You're right. Quarterback draw.
He got away and he's in the end zone. Touchdown Dallas. And flags thrown late in the end zone too. There's going to be some unsportsmanlike conduct. There's been a lot of this right from the beginning of the game. But Trey Lance has played pretty well tonight. He's got a touchdown pass and now one on the ground.
You just watch the center and you just watch him come off. The quarterback's going to take a step back. Going to draw the rush a little bit.
After the play was over,
and then he takes off.
Taunting offense number 65. That's his first taunting foul towards disqualification. It'll be 15 yards penalized on the try.
That's what you get with a mobile quarterback like Trey Lance. He can beat you a number of different ways. They like the potential there. There's no question about that.
Now they'll bring on Brandon Aubrey, who ended the first half with a 66-yard field goal make, which, by the way, if this was a regular season game, that would tie the NFL record, which is Justin Tucker, who had a 66-yarder. So the elongated extra point because of the penalty is good. And it is 27-12 Dallas with 2:06 to go. Nathan Peterman getting loose. Been with the team for a week. See if we see him for a 2-minute drill. The luxurious private lounge includes VIP entry, direct access to the field, and all-inclusive food and beverage service, so much more. The club is available for game days and all other major stadium events. Aubrey drills this one into the end zone to Luke Griffin. 5 yards deep, though. He's coming out with the NFL dynamic kickoff. And he's drilled at the 23-yard line. Which will bring us to the 2-minute warning. So we will step aside. Antonio Pierce. Little time left to see what Carter Bradley's got on the other side.
Beyond his stature.
Can anyone beat the Chiefs? Do you think the Eagles are for real?
Hey, son, what's my opinion on the NFC North?
Jordan Love is definitely winning MVP this year.
Only a fool wouldn't at least consider someone like Joe Cool Burrow. Are you a fool, Mr. Harrison?
Unbelievable. And with NFL Plus Premium, you too can be a football know-it-all.
Las Vegas Raiders football is brought to you by Coca-Cola Zero Sugar, the official soft drink of the Las Vegas Raiders.
Hello, I'm Oliver Johnson, and on behalf of Cerro Verde and the Mountain Region, we'd like to thank you for your support.
Raiders! Raiders! Raiders!
Yeah, there's a really cool story going on right now with the Little League World Series. Adam Johnson, that is his son Oliver. Adam is the coach. He is one of the assistant equipment managers for the Raiders, nearly 2 decades with this organization. But he is the coach of that Nevada team, Rich, there in Williamsport. They beat New York in the first game. They'll play Hawaii on Monday as they try to keep going and win the Little League World Series. And, you know, when we were in camp at Costa Mesa, he was going back and forth to be with the Little League team, come back down for camp, go back up and coach. And they're out there in Williamsport, and the Raiders very excited for him as well.
How cool is that? They're all wearing Raider hats.
Carter Bradley, it looked like he was deflected and it came up short. You know, teams having watch party, the equipment, and they work so hard, right? I mean, we were talking with some of the equipment guys, and Danny Molina the other day has been with this organization for so long.
We're spoiled here. We've got one of the best equipment staffs in all of football, and really you think about, you know, Bobby Romanski, and he's been doing it since he was a kid, doing it with his dad Dick, and Danny Molina's been here, and it's a great crew, and they do so much for the players, and they're here long before the players get here and long after they leave.
Good throw out to the edge. That's caught by Bynum for a first down. You know, Bob Romanski, Rich, he's 5 decades with this organization and took over for his dad as well.
You know what's really cool is that the Hall of Fame is starting to recognize contributors.
Yeah.
You know, not just, you know, players and coaches, but now assistant coaches, PR people. You know, Dick Romanski got recognized by the Hall of Fame, I think, last year. You know, it's really amazing. You think about people give 40, 50 years of their life to this game. They should be recognized for their contributions to the game.
Carter Bradley takes off with his legs and slide. One of my counterparts, Merrill Reese, who's been the voice of the Eagles for almost 5 decades, now in the Hall of Fame as well. Minute 30 to go. Carter Bradley trying to put together a 2-minute drill. Dumps it short. Sincere McCormick tackled at the 42-yard line. It'll bring about 3rd down and 2 as the clock continues to run. Two-minute drill, you work on it so much throughout the course of camp. Bradley throws behind the receiver and incomplete. Ramel Keaton, the intended receiver. It'll bring up 4th down and one last shot for the Raiders offense.
Call your best play. Call play that gives you options versus man, versus zone, versus blitz. You only need a couple yards. Somebody's got to win. Usually you focus on a concept that the quarterback has some history with, some comfort with, something that he does well.
On 4th down, quick throw, it was batted down again. Looked like that was tipped as well, and it's incomplete.
Yeah, I think that did get tipped. I think the end man on the line of scrimmage
might have been Tyrus Wheat who got his hand on there.
I think it was Darrell Johnson, 51.
That's right, 51, not 91. That's right.
You got to be a little firmer on the edge there. Got to get their hands down. It was one of the reminders. I tell Lincoln Kennedy, I said, Link, you got to get their hands down in the quick game. He'd say, all right. Then he go out and knock somebody on their back.
So Trey Lance going to take a knee. So, Rich, we come into this game, and the headline, of course, Antonio Pierce and the staff said they'd like to make their starter after this game. Gardner Minshew tonight got the start and had 5 series. And as Antonio Pierce told us at halftime, a lot was left out on the field. Aiden O'Connell played well in the 3rd quarter. Did throw a pick 6 to start the 4th. What are your biggest takeaways for the offense?
I think there were some good individual efforts. I think overall Antonio Pierce is not going to be pleased with what he saw from the offense or the defense. I think the defense continues to give up some explosives. The run defense hasn't been up to their standard. I think offensively there's too many missed plays. I think the pick 6 is not something that Aiden O'Connell wanted to have on his resume tonight. And I just think that, you know, AP was looking for a little bit more on this group. The good thing is that the starters got a chance to get some quality reps, some good reps on tape, so they can go back and evaluate that first thing tomorrow.
Yeah, deep into the 2nd quarter for many of them, even into the 3rd for a couple as well. Aiden O'Connell there with some conversation with Trey Lance.
That's the end of the game.
Played on the first game last year in the preseason. Remember, Trey Lance was battling Sam Darnold last year in San Francisco when they were here.
Now Sam Darnold's going to be the starter in
Minnesota
week 1 because of the injury to J.J. McCarthy.
Max Crosby played a couple of series to start the game. A lot of the Raiders' defensive starters, particularly the linebackers and secondary, the entire first half. But the question will be, who will be the starting quarterback when the Raiders go to the Chargers week 1, which is 3 weeks from tomorrow. And what they will evaluate and what Antonio Pierce will say is the reason why, whether it is Aiden O'Connell or it is Gardner Minshew. And we, like all of you, await that answer and that decision.
Whoever it is, the #1 goal And this is always my #1 goal before every season. I want to play 17 or 16 back in the day. But that tells you two things. One, you're healthy enough to play all 17, and you're productive enough that you're putting your team in the position to have a chance to be competitive, a chance to win each week. And that's the challenge, you know, and that's not easy for a lot of quarterbacks. You see the NFL season, a lot of teams have to play with multiple quarterbacks. Raiders hoping to avoid that in 2024.
We'll wait to talk to one of the Raiders here post-game. I have that conversation here. But again, there's a lot to like about this team, Rich. There's a lot to feel good about coming off the 8-9 season, going 5-4 with Antonio Pierce as the interim coach. But it is also reasonable to wonder what this offense will look like because they don't have the starter named yet.
It's a concern, especially this time of the year. The thing I like about this team is the character, the makeup of this group. I think this is a tough group, and I think this is a team that is tired of losing, as Antonio Pierce has said. I think the way they finished the season last year, they carry some confidence and momentum into the all-season program. This team has worked hard. They still have some decisions to make. The biggest one of all, of course, is the quarterback position, and that's not going to be easy based on what we saw tonight. But my sense, and again, I'm not a fortune teller, I don't have a crystal ball, my sense it's probably going to be Aiden O'Connell. I think that's the guy that probably gives you the best chance week 1.
Remember, he came out in the third quarter and was 10 of 11 in that third quarter, including a touchdown to Harris and Bryant. Now, he had some really nice throws to DJ Turner, who is joining us down on the field. DJ, I know you've been with this organization for a while. You've been a big part of special teams. But, man, you are making a ton of impact as a wide receiver here as well. What has your takeaway been so far here in this first couple of preseason games?
Honestly, like I just been making the most out of every opportunity I get, man. Like you said, I've been heavy on the special teams for the last couple of years, and right now, like my goal is to just get an offensive role, and I feel like I've been taking steps towards that, and I mean, trying to get a good relationship with the quarterbacks and everything like that, and hopefully I could make that happen soon.
DJ, where do you feel you've made the most improvement as a young receiver? Because I think your route running ability has gotten a whole lot better.
Yeah, for sure. And I made that an emphasis in the offseason, working with Jacoby, working with Tay, just trying to get my overall game as a receiver down and not just be more like the scat back gadget guy. Like I wanted to be able to run routes, like you said, and I feel like those guys helped me out a lot this offseason. And then it's starting to show, man. And those guys, they show me a lot of love after I make plays too. So. Just got to keep working at it, though. Hopefully, we can make some more strides with the weeks to come.
DJ, an undrafted free agent, when you came into the league out of Pittsburgh, is your vision of preseason the same now as you're still fighting constantly for the roster?
Yeah, to be honest, it is, man. I feel like I got to keep that chip on my shoulder. Every day is a work day. You never know, you know what I mean? And I feel like that's what's been kind of pushing me to be better every day too. Is just always feeling like I got to perform, like I got to do something good every day. And then, like you say, it's a journey, man. Hopefully, things will work out for me this season, and that's the plan, man. I'm gonna just keep working and keep at it.
DJ, I always say the more you can do as a young player, and I think it's the pride that you take on special teams, not just the return game. We saw you come down there tonight and cover a kick and get a loose ball on the ground. Just talk about the importance of that and the overall scheme of things and your ability to contribute in the kicking game.
Yeah, I mean, the more you can do, man, that's the name of the game.
What's going on, Devontae?
The more you can do, man, whatever you can do to help the team win and put the team in positions to win, man, that's really what I look forward to do every game. Like even last year, I wanted to play special teams. I wanted to be a part of the success of the team, and whatever opportunity I get, I just try to make plays, and hopefully going into the season we can keep building off of that.
Well, DJ, we wish you the best of the luck. 5 grabs tonight, touchdown last week, and we'll see you as this week goes on before San Francisco next week.
Yep, thank you guys.
All right, DJ Turner, our post-game interview brought to you by Coca-Cola Zero Sugar, the official soft drink